You're live on YouTube.
YOLO, YOLO, as we come to life here at twitch.tv/conspiracy horsemen. The signal flare goes up. See what's up here.
Woo!
Join the chat room. Yeah, the nature boy goes down last week, and we didn't even see him this past week. But seeing how's it going to the chat room here, seeing if you guys can hear me out there. I see Captain Rich 94. Wow, KCB joining us here. You guys hearing us loud and clear in there, can let us know. And also at youtube.com/Stevie Richards, if you're a subscriber over there of all the Stevie Richards fitness stuff, we appreciate you joining us on the double stream here. Let's see. Infidels, can you hear us? Yeah, all loud and clear. Sounds like we got the go signal tonight, you guys, and I'm going to have to take this one and pour out the rest of it because I'm going to need all we can get tonight on this show, you guys. I don't know what you're drinking, Sally. Stevie, I might tell you to fall off the wagon here, and GGP, I'm sure you're going to go to your secret liquor cabinet, and when everybody thinks you're taking a leak, it's you over there blasting some ouzo or whatever he's got going there, grappa. But we're getting a grappa back on reality here tonight because things were shaking up this week. Thank you. As we watched two very powerful documentaries that are controversial and shaking up all social media right now, as we flee with the lottery because possibly they spotted me. The battle-scarred Shogun explosion when our pen hits tremendous ultraviolet shine blind forensics, and we've got the forensics here, infidels, because we're going to dig up that son of a bitch Michael Jackson, take his golden coffin out, take out his bones and throw him in a goddamn wood chipper here tonight because there's nobody going to be safe after we expose Jackson and his pedophilia and the BBC as they try to control all of us infidels, but it's heels over strong all show long here on your Conspiracy Horseman. YOLO! Hey. Holy shit, you guys. Let me add a little water to this Eagle Rare from, I believe, Jason Putnam and open it up a little bit because it's going to be stiff drink tonight. And were you laughing at? Was that a pop of the Eagle belt already? Are we getting into this on the title shoots already or not?
No, I didn't see it. I laughed at you adding water to the liquor, like you just don't want to go all the way and just
like
get
he's paying
hammered.
for it.
No, a little water to bourbon opens up and opens up a lot of the flavors on it, and it's easier to drink a little bit. Splash. I know. Hey man, hey, fuck you. You lived in Louisville too. I can't help it if you weren't out getting wasted every night, like me and Twink were, but I actually asked Twink if he'd come on this show. My old roommate, who actually works for the BBC, but he's in.
Did he fucking big league us on it?
Well, he's in Thailand right now. He's on vacation.
Yeah, I know what he's doing in Thailand.
Yeah, right. He's on the Michael Jackson tour. I don't want to throw him under the bus and get any heat on him as we talk about BBC later in the expose that Tommy Robinson got on him this week. Twink pretty much covers like the balloon festival or sausage fest in Westminster.
He's covering the sausage fest in Thailand right now.
Well, like all the old people AARP shit is what he gets assigned to, and he's the
Sunday morning. He's their Sunday morning executive.
He's a big lovable muppet, and I wouldn't want to get him any heat, man. But you know him well too, Sal. So I'll kick it your way, Sally. Good to see you, man. He's got his official Outback Jack gear on today. Right now,
what the fuck is that? The fucking flannel.
The sleeves cut off. Big Sally, how's it going, man?
Good. Glad to be here. Ready for the therapy session. That will be
shit.
Tonight. Did doing the research, as everybody else. You're watching it. You wound up. you get fuck it. You're like, 6 o'clock. We'll never get here.
Not soon enough, man.
Never get here.
We got kind of half grilled on it on Russo last night, so the emotions, everything's real raw, dude. Like, even people don't even want a water cooler talk about it. It's that raw. And a guy who survived another raw, even though they went home 4 minutes early, and you can hear a Brazen Master shoot theater high energy this week on Russo brand, which was at the actual 4 minutes of what went on backstage at Raw, Super Stooge Report. Stevie, what did you think about it, man?
we got off to such an awkward start to the show. Like, I didn't think we were going to discuss the documentary we were going to discuss tonight.
Yeah.
It just threw me completely off. It's hard to put into words. And I mean, I'm 24 hours removed from watching part 1 and only about 2.5 hours from part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it visibly shook me, like, to the point where I felt like I was tripping over every single word. But somehow easier to watch than Raw and SmackDown.
A faster 4 hours, no doubt.
So listening to 4 hours of children getting molested by Michael Jackson is easier than watching Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, that's strong.
Am I the only one?
No, you're not. I was hoping they would take it home 4 minutes early on the Michael Jackson one, but yeah, it was a absolutely rough week of wrestling after we had a strong week with Bruce, the return of Brother Love, and then, dude, you could have shit in your hands and put a bow on it and served it up this week, and it would have been a better show than what we got on both of those nights. But you know, doesn't matter, because if you're looking for a great show, you can see some hot new video of this guy right here, the Ronin champion versus Gangrel. Had a hot match in the last week. You know, the champ's in the house, drinking his protein out of the stainless steel. How's it going, brother?
I am doing very well, polishing my belt with the tears from all the marks from Ronin, who came and witnessed. Even a little 10-year-old little boy in the front row who took a swing on me, a little four-eyed geek. Anyhow. But, yeah, man, I'm chilling. I saw the first part of the video, the MJ video. Tommy Robinson video I watched. I didn't get a chance to watch the second part of the MJ video. And I'm just, like, ready to kill somebody. So this is going to be one hell of a fucking show.
Yeah, man. I you know, not like I got the John Teeter stooge, but I had a feeling 2 weeks ago we started talking about it that this was going to be hot, because they were starting to preface it, like, to put the story out, these guys need money or da-da-da to do the throw you off the trail campaign and the naysayers, which we'll get to. But once you watch this, you guys, if you haven't, it's so powerful. If you got a PC at home, I don't suggest watching on your phone if you don't have the HBO stuff. I got it through Watch Series. I don't even know what it is. I think it's www.1.s Watch Series now. It's just one of the sites I use. It's up there. You can find it online. It's already been stooged around. There'll be a couple pop-ups. Get it. Go for it.
Shout out to Dirty Turnbuckle for the new gift. That was very, very clever.
Oh, is there a new one out there? I saw the one of Sal and I spooning where he was Michael Jackson and I was getting molested, but I haven't seen.
The new one's. Oh, you did it?
No, not yet.
Yeah, that was good too.
Is this one?
Has one of me dancing as Michael.
Oh, strong, smooth criminal.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
Oh, what an homage. Michael Jackson could have did the run-in when that 8-year-old kid was bothering you.
Well,
I was going to say.
I'll take him.
I'll take him. I put it out earlier, and not a lot of people know it. You saw the viral clip before we get into this. Where the fuck is every promoter right now not booking that guy out of Vegas from the show who did it? Dude, that guy should go. You want me on your show? I'll fucking lay down for $750. For $1,000, I'll walk out with a 6-year-old and let him escort me to the ring, and then have your fucking babyface beat me in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
How many shitbag promoters would book that, dude, just to pop to get the fucking clickbait? In the next 3 months, that guy could fucking clean up, man. If he was really willing to be like, fuck it, my time in Vegas at the Michael Jackson show is over with. They got to cancel that show. There's nothing else they can do, right? And you might as well cash in on it here at the end and just get fucking squashed out and trounced.
Yeah, you might as well finish. We'll get into it. I'm not gonna, you know what? Let's keep going.
You know, I like you should start a wrestling promotion called Too Soon Wrestling, where you pretty much
Every
anything
horrible
that's taboo,
angle.
Every
and it's
fucking
completely
thing.
fucked up. Yeah, Too Soon Wrestling, like toosoon.com. You just put shit up that the people are like, wow, that's just, man, I don't know if it's right to do that yet.
And just show the dark back of a giant chair, and the whole time it's run by somebody who sounds a lot like the incarcerated Bill Cosby.
Oh, I thought you were going Dr. Claw for a second.
Yeah. Well, he was, but he put,
Yeah.
you know, Cosby in there. I like that swerve, that Russo swerve. You know, I think it definitely could work. My gimmick would always be fitting in for sure. And that's where you could probably get Alex Jones' book too. Let's jump into that a little bit before we really spew the vitriol because it's been broken down, and we didn't do a full review show on it, and I don't know if we want to, but we've watched it all. We clipped it out, and we talked about Rogan and Alex now, but there's still more that people want to get our opinions on. We talked on Russo about this too, kind of how they alienated their bases, and this whole first hour was a work to do the apologist stuff for Sandy Hook to get Alex back over, and then they just went off there. Where are you guys kind of at in the week following that? After, I feel there's us and there's plenty of others, but the standard of what those guys set in the conspiracy community for them is ruined, and I feel like we're the new ones with the credibility left.
And those on the fringe of the conspiracy market of, the guy,
Well done.
you what?
Well done.
Yeah, well, the guys who were, I've seen a lot of putting over of the Alex Jones, Joe Rogan shit as, listening to these guys talk, two very concise speakers. Yeah, are they? Are they really?
Yeah.
Like, they're great. They are great speakers, amazing workers, full of shit though. Like,
I don't think they were that good of workers in that first hour. I
But,
thought they exposed themselves.
You would from what I've read,
The Marks bought it, and the workers
and,
don't.
some of the people who are not marks, people who are professionals, who are like, oh, did you hear it? This stuff is great, legendary. Its stuff is next level. Oh, okay, I guess. Yeah, next level.
Couple things, in my opinion. One, 2 words: damage control. That's exactly what this thing was supposed to do. It was supposed to help Rogan get some kind of street cred back from that bullshit Twitter Jack interview that he did that everyone gave him heat over. And it was supposed to bring back Alex. He's supposed to get the rub so he can say, I'm sorry for Sandy Hook, and try to get his foot back and become the presence he once was.
Well, I'm going to come right back to you. Finish that, Stevie, because you've got an extra added on to that. Not only will they bring him back, they'll bring him back with...
Oh, I thought they would, but they already started to set up that angle by having the Twitter special.
Yeah, with Jack
what
Dorsey.
they're going to do is eventually have him and Jack Dorsey or him and Twitter on the same podcast, and it'll be even more popular. They have an in-between build up to that where they had Tim Pull on asking some tough questions of Jack Dorsey, and then they had somebody else from Twitter on there, some woman. And even with that, I sort of think he asked them some tough questions, but they weren't quite tough enough, and they sold it, but they didn't totally get the gotcha, kind of thing. There was always a little, all right, you have that right, but we're going to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
They're kicking the can down the road to the big Alex Jones, maybe even, who's the other guy, Sargon? I mean, they have a whole bunch of people they can line up for these face-to-face or Skype-to-Skype debates where people will watch it and see how it hashes out over 3 hours.
And they want to have this new Twitter, digital pay system, and that will be them tapping into Alex's audience, and that's what they want. GGP, take it away. I cut you off. Go ahead, man. Finish your thought.
No, I was going to say, even though they're full of shit, they're getting the job done because in a matter of 24 hours, they got over 6-7 million views. So, I mean, people are going to freaking click and listen, even though the thing was 4 hours long and he started ranting and, jumping up and down like a big rambling man, baby. It is what it is. I mean, but we all called the bullshit, not only the damage control bullshit, but the fact that they were spewing everything so quickly and going into every conspiracy topic that's popular with the Nancy Browns and just throwing a lot of information that people couldn't process. So people could say, hey, these guys know what they're talking about. And I'm talking a funny voice to try to compete with Sal, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, that's what he's trying to do, and he'll do the Southern Belle like I do for Dixie, but he's trying to do it as like an insult to the Illuminati in South Carolina without saying it, but nobody's getting that, and he just comes off as a fucking joke.
Who? Like who?
Alex Jones. Like,
no, like you're Southern Belle, like who?
The chick
you
on
said Southern Belle, like
Dixie.
who?
Like Dixie.
Oh, you mean Stevie Richards' #1 fan?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's the chick on WWE. They're calling us. Yeah, she's calling us Southern Belle now too.
So, guys, I don't want to ruin our show. I know we had a flow going, but I just found out Big
Kiss
Vito
my
went,
grits.
Big Vito went live at 6:30. Should we just fold up and come back later?
Yes,
Done?
absolutely.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
we
I gotta
probably lost
say,
half of our chat room.
shout out to. Did you see the shoot that Big Vito did on Marks in the Locker Room? I did like that, man.
No, I missed it.
Yeah, I saw that. Hey,
Where's
by the
that?
way, there was a few comments going through talking about this entire documentary and everything. This is where I get into a lot of arguments with my friend Ben, Russian Vids, who claims that every single thing that's out there is a complete hoax. Like everything, like even the story behind the story behind the story. It's like an inception of hoaxes that are just there for
Right.
the stage. And I can see the work in a lot of things. All four of us can see the work in a lot of things. But then that kind of stuff, I believe, just puts that's what people want to label as conspiracy theorists, not what we're talking about
Right.
and the way we're talking about it. You just can't say, well, the documents are hoaxed. This is a hoax. Testimony's hoaxed. It's the world's, everything is the world's biggest hoax. I mean, it's easy to say, but you have to really back it up and just can't say, well, obviously it's a hoax and this never happened. And this, I can't even, you know what I mean? That's where we would probably turn off some of our conspiracy listeners, but so be it.
I'll tell you one thing, though. The one thing that wasn't 100% legit, in my opinion and in my eyes, was this Tommy Robinson documentary.
Yeah,
Because of the footage he ended up getting in the gotcha moments.
that was great.
That, and I think this is how I'm looking at it, and this is what I'm calling from what I saw. He got him, and he got him good.
Yeah.
And at one point, they didn't show the good ones. They just showed the clips that's going to take the heat off of Tommy, and Tommy's keeping the good shit in his back pocket saying, you fuckers keep coming at me, you BBC motherfuckers, I'm going to expose you guys for more. This is just to show that you guys are full of shit, and every story that you guys are putting out isn't 100% legit because you're making shit up.
Oh, he led him right along and fucking just
yeah.
would get heat on him.
But there is more, because at one point you see him sitting there and the guy's going like this and he's rubbing his nose. He's getting all anxious to see what's going to happen next. And they didn't really show. I personally think that motherfucker has more video footage that can incriminate the BBC
absolutely.
and that guy a lot harder. And he's saying, now, guess what? This is my insurance policy. This is my leverage. You guys fuck off. Lay off me and my family. And you guys won't go down.
But they're not, though. That's the problem.
Quick question: when you guys watched the video, the girl Kayla, the girl who went in for drinks with John Wallace, was that cut out? Was what she recorded cut out, or was it my feed?
No, it was your feed. There was a lot of it.
Like
in
they
there.
were. Well, no. They talked a little bit, and he ordered like a fucking dozen drinks in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it was like they were in the car together. And then he's like, I can't believe they're saying that. And I'm like, did I miss it? Did I miss everything? Or
No,
like,
that was just her giving the hard drive while she's all wasted and him going through it and reacting. They just cut 4 hours of him in a car down to like two.
Oh, okay.
Two
So I
or
was
three
like, I
clips.
thought I missed that. I was like,
It was
wait.
Lucy Brown, I think.
Yeah.
That's what it said in the comments over here.
That's Nancy's sister.
Yeah, that's
So,
what it seemed like.
Well, we're going to
Well,
get
that's
to this right out of the gate then, guys. We're talking about Tommy Robinson, political activist, far right winger as everything goes with Brexit. Easily
One of my
labeled a
favorite
Nazi.
refs from WCW.
Yeah,
Little
great.
H.
And, that was locked up because he shook up the system for 13 months. They put him away, and he had almost 750,000 people petitioning on his behalf for release. Very outspoken, very loud. And in this new documentary, which you can go right on YouTube, Tommy Robinson, do his channel and subscribe and watch it, called Panorama, where he gets out of jail, and the first thing he does is start exposing how the BBC is in collusion with multiple George Soros foundations, and BBC is paid for, if you don't know this in America, by tax funded, and you have to have a TV license to even have TV in your home, and that money goes to the BBC. So that's what we're going to kick it off with here. Sal, hold that for a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, go. No, go ahead.
Stevie, take it away.
Well, I didn't get a chance to watch this entire thing because I was still PTSD from the Michael Jackson thing, but I watched about 3/4 of it. And yeah, Papadon makes some great points saying some of it looked a little bit too easy, but Project Veritas has had the same accent. These people seem to love to hear themselves talk, love to put themselves over, love to put over how they're getting over.
Mhm.
I agree with Papadon and you guys that sure, he in an off-camera thing said that was bad, but what I really got is going to bring you all down, and you better just shut the fuck up and leave my family alone. I don't think that makes it a hoax. To him, he's just playing it like a worker.
Sure.
Because if he put everything out there, the news cycle would go by so fast, and they would probably end up, like you said, they're still trying anyway because they're so arrogant about it. And that's where I think he's playing it a little bit more like this is my my dead man switch here, so they don't
Right,
do anything to
right.
me or my
Yeah.
family, and they leave
Which
us
they've already
alone.
done.
Yeah,
They
which
just-
they have. He even cut a
Yep.
new promo today. Go ahead,
I
Sal.
just watched that one too. That's the one I watched to start off. And
After the Sunday thing,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh
they
my
sent
God.
What'd he say?
they sent leftist with
Antifa.
Antifa flags. They keep calling him a crackhead.
They're stooging off where his kids are held
His
up.
kids live, not even him.
Not even him, yeah. So they can go like parade in front and do intimidation and take pictures in
They
front of
said
the house
cars,
where they know his
stolen
kids
cars.
are. Yeah.
Stolen cars drove up that road, and they were like zooming by the house. And cops the police made him move his wife and kids for 2 weeks because they're like, it's not safe here. We can't protect your house. And it's not even him. He says, he goes, I haven't lived with my kids or my wife in forever. I'm in a separate place altogether to keep them safe. And the media fucking exposed their address, the house number, no less, and like where it's located.
This feels very, I don't know, even though it's a TV show, in a long, far time, Washington Spies, it feels a lot like that to me, where like, all right, I have to sacrifice the safety of my family to go and do this. You know what I mean? It really feels like those early days of a war, of the information part of it with him and the way it is right now. And what we may see in the summer streets here, he's definitely living right now, because once he led whatever it was, 200,000 people to the gates at the palace and shit, dude, that had them shaking in their fucking bones. And he also puts over, these are the same people who protected Jimmy Savile, where hundreds of kids were molested right inside BBC headquarters. So this ties right into what we're talking about. I see a promoter with his head on his shoulders in the chat room. Mikey Hawes, MH Freedom's in there now from Bumps and Bruises LA. He's saying his buddy actually helped out on Panodrama as a producer or editor on that as well. So, you know, if you guys are in the chat room at twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman, hit up Mike Hawes if you have any questions to start that conversation. Sidebar as we go on. GGP.
Maybe we can get Mike to get his buddy to come on the show and talk about it.
Highly possible.
If you would
and
like to.
probable. Yeah. And I was also talking to Ian Ferguson, who did the triggering of the dude in the vape shop about 2 months ago when that video went viral. We're probably gonna have him on.
That? Anybody remember that shit?
In the next week to 2 to 3 weeks here too. So if you got stuff you want for him, guys, we're definitely trying to line up some, you know, in the news now guests. What's going on, GGP? Take it away.
I just think, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a hoax, like Stevie said, but or Stevie said that it's not a hoax, or his friend Ben says everything is a hoax. What I'm saying is that he comes out with his documentary.
which is it? What is
Stevie
it?
Richards says it's a hoax.
No, Stevie says it's not a hoax. His friend Ben says everything that's a documentary or out there is a hoax. And when I said, and I related it to this Tommy Robinson incident, I wasn't saying that the thing is a hoax, but it is some kind of work, meaning that it isn't 100% factual, because there's more than meets the eyes that we don't know about.
There is.
Meaning that he's holding stuff in his back pocket for his safety, but if he can burn these motherfuckers to the ground and he's not doing it, then I think he's playing the wrong card. He should be burning these motherfuckers to the ground, because if he did, then he wouldn't have this this aftermath of people coming to his house now, or people messing with his family. He could have just one-shot knockout first round, as opposed to dragging it out and making this thing prolong in case get out of free jail card he has to use it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. Second thing I found, his name is not even Tommy Robinson. That's a stage name. I don't know if that's true or not. But Explain to the listeners, because I can't remember why he went to the jail in the first place. What did he expose?
He was arrested for starting a riot,
Inciting a riot, yeah.
inciting a riot, which it wasn't. It was just a demonstration.
I mean,
Yeah,
they were
but
right.
what-
They
what-
were
what
they
were
were
they
on the
protesting?
fences, fucking had her rocking and rolling and shit, dude. It was like that. I remember watching that. I was like, fuck yeah, here we go, dude. Like, let's get this old bitch out. Let's tack her fucking hands to a piece of wood and carry her right out in the fucking street.
Today's Ash Wednesday, man. You
Wow.
don't have to go that far.
Where's
For
your
the
Ash
Queen of
Wednesday?
England, I'll drive the nail myself.
Which, by the way, Ben,
Well, the pastor was a subscriber to the Conspiracy Horsemen, so I'm not allowed to ever have ashes again or walk into a church.
Yeah.
So
Well,
thanks, guys.
I'm telling you that we're gonna go home with "Driving in the Nails" by the Tiger Lilies, which is
oh
one of my
God, how
favorite.
tremendous was
favorite
that
groups.
video, man? That
Yeah,
was amazing.
I've been on
So
them
was
for a
he-
while.
Was Tommy Robinson trying to expose the fact that the royal family are a bunch of kid fuckers?
All of it,
Bunch of
dude.
pedos?
Like, so
That's it?
he's
Everything.
well, not just that, but he is anti-Muslim agenda. Okay, let's not. But at the same time, it's the extreme
that make you feel,
reaction
Ben?
of how they flooded it right out of the war. Like that was all part of their whatnot. So he became the poster boy for that. And I'm not here to say I back Tommy Robinson or any of us of what his views are, but we do back the expose of the Ministry of Disinformation. And the way this sets it up, it comes right out of George Orwell, 1984. It is right out of V for Vendetta, of when V goes to the fake BBC, right, and blows the whole goddamn place up. And him standing in front of there the other day was the symbolic version of that, of saying hundreds of fucking kids have been molested in here. I'm about to expose these liars. And he does. He goes through, what's the name of the Soros charity? Hope
Not hate.
Hope Not Hate, and how it's directly tied and giving the information to BBC, how they're setting up and entrapping Tommy Robinson, and that what their MO is.
They're
And-
trying to pay friends off to
Right.
give him fucking dirt.
And that's the thing. The whole thing that gets set up is they were going to pay one of his close friends, and the chick,
ex-employee.
yeah, the chick even has Tommy Robinson's
Prison
prison number tattooed on her wrist, and they were going to try and flip her for five grand, right? So
Yeah.
she goes in with this older fucking looks like a master's degree asshole professor who thinks he's over and is tenured because of BBC's had his back, and he's drinking on the taxpayer's dime. He even puts it over. I can't believe this is on on the expense
BBC
account.
Vanguard.
The guy orders 3 bottles of wine. He orders champagnes mixed
Champagne
with
and
brandies, tequilas, ouzos. I mean, the flaming ouzo, the whole thing, like flaming moes. He was drinking it all, and this is in like in the first hour. So he's getting fucking bombed to do his job. And there's later, and there's allegations about him possibly molesting and doing this pedophilia shit as well that comes out. But the whole time, this chick has got the Project Veritas camera on, and she's baiting him with questions, and he's just making mistake after mistake, saying off-topic racist thing that you would, we could get bashed for in here when, GGP's calling people wetbacks and stuff. Like, we can't have that, but like, but this guy's trying to hold up one end of the spectrum, meanwhile being exposed and giving it up because he's a shitty worker. And they think that they are that powerful that they can flex $5,000 and flip somebody. Meanwhile, they don't know how to kayfabe and are ruining their own business. Sally, take it away.
Well, now the whole point was, now forget that it's on the BBC's dime, so everybody's paying for that, right? The fact that he was doing it to get her fucking liquored up, so she'd be like, "Oh yeah, Tommy Robinson, a real prick. Here's the shit on him," like that was the whole plan. Because didn't he contact her and was like, "We should stop for tea. Better yet, a pint or two."
Yeah.
So that's the smooth fucking classy way of being like, let's get hammered, and if I don't get a fucking beach under the table, maybe you'll give me some shit on top of
Right.
it.
He's already trying to go from T to expose that, like most journalists, you're an old drunk motherfucker most of the time. Journalists, notorious alcoholics. The guy's name is John Sweeney. I want to put that out there, put him on blast. Hawes actually says this fucking cocksucker still has a job over there. So let's take to Twitter right now, put it on blast at BBC on all their shit. If at John Sweeney's on there, say, we see you, motherfucker. You're going down. Your career's over with. Hit him with some horsemen, posse up on him. That's a guy we can easily target and say, fuck you. So they get all this tape and they go back, and Tommy Robinson cuts it up to set the big trap, which we'll get to here. Now, I just want to sidebar here as the worker side, production side. I think Tommy Robinson did himself a little disservice in the way he was producing right here, because you can really see the cuts that are edited to fit his narrative. Did you guys feel that in this? Yeah, and I think that does a disservice to the genuineness of the argument that he's trying to portray. So I don't know, Hawes, if you talk to your buddy or anybody who's listening to this out here, they need to take into account the gotcha factor that they want to fucking get over versus let me win my audience with a convincing argument, because there was too much aha gotcha, fuck you. There was plenty of it there that would have naturally fit. His editing reinforced it, and it made it a little chintzy. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
No, I see your point. Go ahead, Sal.
No, that was exactly it. Like, he'd be talking, and then he's like, and then it's like a really shit jump cut. And I'm like, well,
yeah.
If he just wanted to be, if he wasn't trying to be artistic and just exposing, he would just talk and let whatever happens happen.
Right.
You know, you wouldn't have to snip it out somebody calling on the phone because you heard his fucking phone go off 100 times. So it's just one of those things, like, he just should have just let it go. But it seemed, not to say that, this ruined it for me, but there was definitely that, what the hell is he cutting? What's he editing?
Right. It fit, like, we're going to cut right there because it fits my narrative. And I was like, that cut makes it suspect that you're really trying to convince me instead of just exposing them. Did you feel that, Stevie?
Yeah, he's on YouTube. It's not like you have to run it in under an hour like on network television.
Right.
You could have made it as long as you needed to make it. That's us looking at it, though. I don't know, because the same people that are watching us are the same people that are believing everything the BBC is cutting to fit their narrative as well.
Sure.
So he may just be playing the same game, but we see it as you're playing the same game, so you may be no different than these motherfuckers either. Real quick, I wanted to say that these actions by, going to his family's home, harassing them, harassing him, doing whatever they can, this just kind of like really mimics a lot of that Church of Scientology type behavior.
It definitely
spying
does.
on them, doing all that stuff. So it's almost like well, obviously with the Islam and everything, it is a religious thing, but the media seems to think they're part of a religion too that needs to be protected.
Sure. Yeah, that's the thing there. He's actually at the end putting over, he calls him elite. He gets very defensive about that, doesn't he? Like, really sells for it. And he's like, I'm not one of them, which means he's in the circle where when you say elite to him, all I could think of is some Michael Jackson baby eating shit. And he's not admitting to that. He just does the touching of teenagers. I don't go all in for that other shit. Like, he got in his mind with that.
Nobody's innocent in this one, and like we're going to talk later,
Right.
There's no innocent parties within this Tommy Robinson thing.
No, not at all. And Tommy's whole thing isn't about the fact of what they're trying to say about it. I mean, it is, as they're trying to collectively ruin his outlook, where they're trying to put the gay spin on it to do something salacious. They're always going to look for that right out of the gate. He talks about his gaydar and being off, trying to bait this girl to stooge it off. And she really does. She's really the best worker in the whole goddamn documentary, because she just shuts the fuck up and lets him bury himself in the locker room after 12 drinks or whatever. Go ahead, GGP.
No, I mean, I'm right there with you. I was just looking up this dude's real name. Tommy Robinson's real name is Stephen Christopher
Lennon.
Calm down, bud. Stephen Christopher Yaxley Lennon. Yes.
Yaxley.
You're right?
Yeah, all right. That's fine.
You have a stroke over there?
Sales guy's have a nice day hat on. He's getting shit on. He's just trying to
I'm just trying to help out. You're sitting there struggling with something that Mike Paws was talking about already. So I'm sorry. I'm just trying to help.
And no, I agree with Ben. He got very defensive. Like,
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is where the bullshit meter comes to play, because every clip they show of him basically burying himself, he doesn't show any part of him getting upset, and then he tries to calmly say his point of view, right?
Or he
Like,
tries to switch, and he like 4 times he goes, I want to ask you a question. Okay.
Exactly.
And he goes, okay, you can
Exactly.
ask me just 1 second, but here, let me play this clip of you lying. I fucking love that beta. Sure, you can ask me 1 second here.
But the guy also stood in his seat, very calm and collected the whole process.
Sure.
So that's one tell right
Who,
there.
John
because-
Sweeney, the guy,
Yes.
the bald guy?
Yes.
Yeah, Sweeney. Sweeney was sitting there, and he would say, "Hey, wait a minute. No, let me clarify something. I didn't say this. This is what I meant." And before he can get his point across, hold on there, sunshine. Let's look at the fucking Titantron, and then boom, he play another clip, and then he'll come back. He's still sitting there, not outraged, not upset that he got his first point across. He tried to tackle that and hit that nail on the head, and they cut him off and go on and so on and so forth. And nothing would happen. He would never get up and say, "You know what? Fuck you." Never lost his cool. Very calm and collected. I mean, the guy basically called his bullshit on everything, except the only time he got upset is when they did call him an elite, which means that he does know something. Like Ben said previously, that being called an elite, and he knows what goes on behind the scenes, and he has nothing. He doesn't want anything to do with it. So right then and there, that's another tell. And the third tell, in my opinion, is at the end. Instead of him flipping a fucking table over or throwing a chair and saying "fuck you," he stands up, and Tommy has the fucking outbreak, not the outbreak, the outrage, and storms off, like basically saying, "F you," and he's still sitting there, standing there, calm and collected. And all of Tommy's people who are doing the interviews there, he didn't approach them saying, "Hey, give me the tape," or "Hey, don't fucking air that," or "Cover a camera. I'm not gonna let you guys air this." He just stood there with his dick in his hand. So, I don't know, man. There's a lot of tells in that video.
There is, and the go home, the way he gets him and fucking leaves with his heat is perfect wrestling style. That was my
absolutely.
fucking favorite, because they had the dude from the Soros Hope
Not Hate
dude there who tried to get his shit in instead of just staying fucking small. If that guy would have just shut the fuck up, he would have less exposed that. Instead, after they fucking eat John Sweeney up for 30 minutes, this guy's got to try and get his shit over and thinks, because these people think they stay the fuck over, that they're untouchable. And that's why they fucking put a guy like Tommy Robinson in jail, because that really shakes them to the core, because their work is exposed, and that's all the fuck they have. What's John Sweeney going to do? Knuckle up in a fight? Some old fat fuck who's been touching 15-year-olds his whole career to stay over so they can have something on him? He's the definition of a fucking BBC company yes man who's going to fucking go out and be part of a propaganda hit piece. That's all that fucking shitbag is. He's a D-level corporate spy, and he was fucking exposed because they're shitty fucking workers. And this guy's sitting in a cell for 13 months with 600,000 people who want him out doing fucking work for him, like our conspiracy horseman posse does just for us for this show. What do you think's going to happen? That's how blind they are to their own fucking egos, whether it's McMahon's or
Except Justin
them.
French, he doesn't know how to work.
Sonic
here's what I'm gonna say
the
about that,
headgrass
though.
says he's saying
Go ahead.
ya Allah like he's in a cult. Go back and watch the Jim Jones episode and have a drink on us, brother.
I just want to say one thing before the CTE kicks in. The fact that you just said he's a
Corporate spy.
Yeah.
corporate spy, right?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, that's perfect.
I'm stroking
Yeah.
out.
No, you're not stroking out. You hit a home run with that one. Same thing with Alex Jones, saying that his dad was in the CIA and his dad has CIA connections and this and this and that. For the longest, we've been saying that he's a fucking CIA paid shill and he puts out misinformation on purpose for when every one thing he says right, he'll say 10 outlandish things to keep the playing field even so people just think he's entertainment. But for him to come on Joe Rogan and say, yeah, my dad's a CIA agent. I know all these secrets. He would tell me about this and that, and this and that.
Yeah.
Same thing. Total disservice.
Yep.
All right, back to the regularly scheduled program.
No, you're spot on with that. And the way that they got him and broke it down, and then even took it to the mat of like where the guy's making off-color things about the taxi driver because Muslims don't want a dog in their fucking cab, so it's hard for him to get a cab. So he's doing Muslim bashing to someone he thinks is going to be in that because they're a Tommy supporter.
Sympathetic ear.
Right. And so more baiting, just shitty worker stuff.
What about right off the bat? I shouldn't be admitting this, but the head of the IRA, I love them. Like, you're what? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, he calls his
bombed people. That's your hero,
right? He's like, I'm like Tommy too. I have Irish scumbag heritage, and then he's like,
I'm an outlaw as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, really?
It's every fucking movie that we got, like with a pussy bad guy who, like, his father gave it to him in medieval times, right? That's who this fucking dude is. Lord fucking Jax-a-lot of whatever fucking manor, and he doesn't do shit. He never earned it. He can't chop wood, carry water, but he acts like he's fucking got it all figured out.
Guys from Hudson Hawk.
Right.
This is even worse than I'll get for Pop and I'll do a wrestling analogy because it's his favorite.
WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, WrestleMania 3. I was there. I took the time machine. This is like when Brooklyn Brawler Harvey Whippleman would come up to you and they'd be gauging guys but trying to get heat on guys because they'll be like, to come up and you see something fucked up happen or whatever, and they come up and be like, man, I can't believe he did that, man. Isn't that really fucked up? And I stand there like not knowing what, because they want you to say something. So the whole 9 years that got me through WWE, almost 10 years, was two sayings. Everybody's got their thing, and I think it worked out best for both parties.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of shit. They're not even that good, but this guy was worse than them. The obvious baiting to try to create a comfort level so then he can get, if he needs to get heat on you or help you get heat on Tommy Robinson, he's going to do that. The other thing I was going to say was, if you got half a brain, which most people these days, it doesn't appear they do, how the fuck, if the BBC isn't doing anything wrong, if mainstream media doesn't have anything to hide and they're not doing anything nefarious or not trying to drive their narrative, why are they harassing somebody for their free speech? Like, why are they getting mad at somebody that supposedly is such a bad dude and trying to harass him constantly? Is it just because, well, he doesn't believe what I believe, so it's okay if they basically terrorize this guy?
That's the go-to. That's the go-to of all these people.
Well, I think
they're all about it.
Look at a bigger picture on this. That's when Alex and Milo got shut down too. I feel like this is a Bilderberg or whatever fucking attack group they were gonna get everybody who was against the globalist agenda, who was a fucking player, and they got him. They got him for a year almost. And look at Alex now doing the same thing. At least Tommy's not fucking turning around and trying to work to get his base back. He's doing it by exposing them with the fucking truth. Alex just wants to go on and do more verbal diarrhea about fucking space this, and my dad was the sixth smartest man in Texas, and I fucking know why they implanted people's in their fucking teeth. And shut the fuck up, dude. Tell me something fucking real, or go and expose somebody. You're already too exposed to do that anymore. So
let's talk a little bit about the people that want to see the bigger picture and think the whole thing is a stage, that it is a hoax. Do you think that this, much like Alex Jones coming back on Joe Rogan, kind of gives everybody, especially Rogan, a little bit more credibility and brings their audience back a little bit more? Do you think there'll come a day where Tommy Robinson will usurp the John Sweeneys and all the other people that are supposedly driving the narrative, and the BBC will repackage themselves with people like Tommy Robinson, and this whole thing is like a huge angle that BBC might be driving?
Nope.
Or the shoot turns into a work rather than the work turning into a shoot.
I wanna support you in that, because it seems far-fetched, and Sal, you're like, no, but today I saw fucking Jon Stewart appealing to Congress for the 9/11 victims to have their shit paid for, and was shitting on the Dems and put over Donald Trump and his administration as far as pushing it through faster and getting checks cut without any bullshit. That's a weird thing that you never thought would fucking happen, right? Like him putting them over. I don't know. So to me, that very well could be it. So.
Hello, BBC. Yes, I'll take the call.
Hello, Vince. Hi.
I just feel like that as I think about it a little bit more, they seen the swerve that was thrown us with Trump winning the election. Sort of like, can we throw a couple more swerves and buy a few more years or decades of misinformation or disinformation on people with this, because then people will think, wow, it's finally happening.
Yeah.
We're finally going to get our rights and free speech back and all this stuff. And before we know it, it's just driven the other way, because we have a whole, it's like when you do the double turn. You do a double turn, and now the Democrats will turn into the heels or the what should I say, kind of like the Austin type heels, where they're popular underground, and the Republicans, the conservatives, or whatever they call themselves, will be the authority figures, will be in charge, and now the Democrats and the liberals have to work their way up from underneath.
All right, real quick. Sorry I took that call. It was Mike Hawes. He wants to jump in and gives his 2 cents about everything in England and all that and that stuff. But he didn't know how to patch in with the call.
Mike Hawes English?
But he didn't want us to give anybody his name. That's Ben's favorite thing. He wanted to remain anonymous after we said it.
I'm trying. Hold on 1 second.
Patch him in. I told him all you need is your Skype handle, and he's like, "Oh, is that my email?" I'm like, "I don't know what your name is on Skype, dude. Whatever your name is on Skype." So
put it in the room.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get back to our fucking faces here.
So here's my thing.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy Robinson is going to be the BBC Steve Austin, which is exactly my analogy I was going to go with. They don't have that kind of sensibility yet. Like, we would do that in a heartbeat. Put him on TV and give him his own show, let him fucking kill himself.
Why not?
Yeah, that would be America's deal. That's
but it's Pepsi and Coke.
They will never do it.
It's Pepsi. Pepsi having 15 different supposed competitors, but it's still owned by Pepsi. The work of that. I almost struck out there too.
Somebody take the helm. I'm trying to
Papa
add
Don's
him
not
in
there
here.
to call you out on.
Pause. What
Papa
the
Don doesn't
fuck?
need to call you out on it.
God damn it.
This can be maddening. This can be maddening trying to dissect it, and then knowing how workers work and bookers book things backstage.
Yeah.
That you turn around and you just say, I mean, it'll drive you nuts, man. It'll give you a migraine just to try to straighten it all out.
Yalla, Haas, you there?
Oh,
Yalla! What's up, guys? How you doing?
Yeah, welcome to the show, MH Freedom, promoter, Bumps and Bruises, guys.
I was getting hot as fuck when I was listening to the Tommy Robinson shit.
Yeah.
And I was getting super fucking hot with the fucking Skype shit. I'm a technological caveman, but a fantastic promoter.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate you joining us.
Program to work out your frustrations.
Yeah, I've certainly been doing that, Stevie. And I'll tell you what, the 16 weeks, I'm looking good, buffed, ripped, jacked, ready to go.
Strong.
Oh, by the way, Big Sal, mate.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan, mate. Huge fan.
Thank you.
Anyway, listen, guys, that fucking Tommy Robinson shit, that was outrageous. Absolutely fucking outrageous. That motherfucker, John Sweeney, at John Sweeney Raw, the whole fucking deal was absolutely, I was on fire on Twitter. I have to be real careful, being a wrestling promoter and dealing with very sensitive wrestling fans who are generally very leftist on the whole.
You got banned, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been banned for 97 days out of 120 days on Facebook. I just got released from Facebook jail yesterday after another 30-day ban because I've got a page called the Freedom Files I've had since I left BCW. I've had it for about 4 years, but I posted a questioned the validity of transvestites or transgenders or trans anything doing athletics and sports, and then I got another 30-day ban, and that's the reason I've been getting multiple 30-day bans for a very long time. So I was back today, but anyway.
Don't worry, we're going to get you in the Olympics no matter what transvestite thing you want to be, Mikey. We're going to get you there, buddy. That's we're behind you.
I've got my bikini on, man. I'll cut my balls back in the asshole.
What is on the ground there, the common man? What's the Dusty Rhodes feeling about this Tommy thing? I saw in the chat room from some other people that nobody in America is talking about this. You know what I mean? So I'm glad, and I'm not seeing it. Not that I watch 24/7 news anymore anyway, but I'm not really seeing it on Drudge Report, not seeing it in InfoWars, not seeing anybody in Rogan's realm really talking about it. is this the hot button shit where it is in the underground, and guys like us are fired up over there even more after this in the following week?
Fired the fuck up. I'll tell you what, that Tommy Robinson thing, I'll tell you what, honestly, I kind of detached myself from getting too emotionally involved because I've been living in the USA for 19 years.
Yeah.
I'm an American citizen now. I'm more attached to the USA than I am the UK. And that's deliberate because it was so disappointing when I left. But I sat there the other night, and then someone sent me a link, a good friend of mine, I was telling you, @ban the BBC. Now, this is a fucking guy that's, not that it's relevant, but he's gay, conservative. And I said, hey, where's this Tommy Robinson documentary? And I sat there and watched it. And I was thinking, no, I'm not going to get too emotionally involved. I was fucking fuming. Now, here's the makeup of, for myself personally, I'm Anglo-Irish. So my family's Irish. All 4 of my grandparents are Irish. Genetically, I'm Irish. There's 15 million Irish. 50,
So you love John Sweeney.
Greeks invented Irish.
Well,
That's right, baby.
That piece of shit, John Sweeney, sitting there. All right, he's got that chick there who was the he thought was a mark for Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, but she's she's a
the
stooge.
Lemoncellis, and I think Bin said it best. The booze cakes were going down, booze hounding. They were fucking going mental. And he goes, you know what got my fucking tail up? About 45 or 40 minutes into the documentary of the Secret Service fucking cameras kicking in, was when he goes, scumbag Irish.
Yeah.
And my fucking fire went up like you wouldn't fucking believe. My tail went up. It was 11 o'clock. And I was like, I was furious. I mean, these motherfuckers at the BBC, let me tell you something. These fucking assholes at the BBC, they are so fucking biased. It's a forced fucking tax.
Is it?
It is £154. Can you imagine, guys, could you imagine someone said to each one of you, Bin, GGP, Big Sal, Stevie, you're going to have to pay £154 fucking pound, $200, so you can get the news that you don't, not the news that you want to hear, the news you have to hear. Oh, by the way, you can see Downtown Abbey, or you can watch Dr. fucking Pooh with fucking pregnant men and fucking, Daleks diddling the fucking space or whatever the fuck they want to do there.
Yeah, whatever star they're going to create.
Outrageous.
Yeah. And I hope at this point that's going to be at the end of this whole panel drama documentary. He actually, it kind of popped me because it goes to kind of an industrial film feel where he shows people how to go on BBC.com and get rid of their license with like 6 or 7 clicks. And I'm like, dude, it just, after all this gotcha, the fact that that's all anybody has to do an F you to the government, why they wouldn't do that and save themselves that money, is I steal every show on TV. Okay. I'm never paying for HBO again or anything like that. I know how to use a computer. Go ahead, Sal.
I didn't want to get into this before, but when you brought up the TV tax, I wanted to ask people who were in the UK. We went over to Ireland, and they have commercial after commercial after commercial about the TV tax, right? So I was like, what? This is bullshit. That's no way. There's no way. Or it's one of those taxes that people just blow off. One of the Irish guys told me that there's a guy who walks around, and if you don't have an antenna, he knocks on your door and is like, can I see your television license?
You don't know about it. Listen,
no, we don't know that, dude.
Big Sal, hear this out.
I would choke a motherfucker out if he tried to come into my house to check my TV out. That'd be dude.
Mate, listen, hear this out. They used to have a fucking van when I was a kid driving around the neighborhoods in London.
The Irish guy
all right,
said.
It was a great big shitty van with a giant fucking antenna on the top of it, like spinning around. I'm thinking this has got to be bullshit. And then they'd knock on your fucking door and they'd say, "Oh, you haven't got a TV license. You're watching TV." Basically, they're texting if you've got a TV. This is back in the day when we had like 4 channels. And by the way, in Ireland, They had 2 channels when I was a kid that started at 3 o'clock in the fucking afternoon, and then there was nothing worthwhile shit on it. And the one channel was only pure Irish language that you couldn't understand a fucking thing worth of shit anyway. But they had a fucking van with a great big, it's like a comedy thing, great big fucking antenna on it spinning around, and they knock on your fucking door and say, are you watching TV? And then they give you a fucking ticket.
And the ticket, apparently, the fine now is almost like double the cost of the fucking license.
Well,
yeah,
that's
but you
smart,
can get out of
because
that
then you want to pay for the license.
They're
But
getting
then-
sweaty about it, Sal.
But
They're
then
getting sweaty about it.
I also watched, when I was in Ireland, when I'm in the hotel room, I watched the fucking show. They pull guys over and check if your gas is green or red. Your petrol, because farmers
You're
get
talking
a
like
certain...
4-star, unleaded, and diesel.
Farmers get the green one, and they get a break on it because they're farmers. If you're not a farmer, if you're driving in a fucking Hyundai and you have the green gas, if this motherfucker would stick a stick in just because he feels like it, if you got that green gas, you're fucked.
Well, holy shit, you were in the big boondocks there, Sal. I'll tell you,
Yeah,
they must have
dude,
been.
I
They
was-
must have thought you were the fucking giant of the fucking land
It
out
was
there.
amazing.
I'll tell you.
Because I was like, this isn't real. That can't be real. That shit was real.
I think they were scared of you.
I
like,
can't believe that
what?
that you guys have not risen up further. Let a motherfucker show up in a van without a gun to come to my house to give me a ticket over TV, and you're gonna see the best viral video of somebody getting fucking twisted up that you ever fucking seen, man. Like I can't believe you guys haven't snapped long ago to be like, you fucking cunts are done. You're just out of here.
That was
Yeah,
the
but Ben,
first thing.
I was done. I left at 25. I said,
Well,
fuck it, I've had enough of this.
That's
shit.
the other
I'm not
reason why
playing.
that's the other reason why I had you on. Let's be honest, Michael Jackson brought you over at age, to live at Neverland Ranch, and we know that that's all part of the story how this ties in. Anyway.
Well, you said age 9. You sure he'd go from it being that old?
Well, he was a young 9.
It was Irish
He
looking.
didn't go through the growth spurt.
No, he liked the young freckle-faced Irish.
You know what's funny is like all the stuff we have as far as CCTVs, as far as all the surveillance stuff and everything was originally in England. I mean, I remember taking tours over there with WWE and seeing the cameras, the speed cameras, the light cameras, all that
It's
stuff.
even worse now.
So what I was going to say though, Mike, it's only a matter of time before if the network TVs or the mainstream media or something see people streaming and using Sling or not paying for full cable packages and stuff like that, if they don't figure it out on the other side by getting their money back, I wouldn't doubt it if they lobbied the government to
Yeah, but
do
Stevie,
something
that's
similar
already
that they do.
happening. There's sorry to interrupt you. There's actually petitions that you can do to government on websites, and I'm sure it's pretty fucking deep through the hundreds of thousands. But there's a thing called the Cody box, which we have here as a regular thing.
Never
Right?
heard
You
of
know,
it.
you can watch internet TV, but in the UK, it's illegal. You have it, they're coming round to get you, and they'll arrest you. But don't worry, you can
They ain't
fuck
got
little
guns,
kids
fuck
and they
'em.
won't
I was
come
gonna
near
say,
you.
who the
Don't
fuck
worry
is
about
coming
that.
in to arrest me with no gun? You're not
got
taking
guns,
me,
bitch.
son. You are not fucking taking me, infidel. I will break you down. Mikey, we're gonna switch gears, man. We appreciate you calling in, man. And
Thank
if
God.
there's any update
Sorry
on
to
that,
fuck up.
please hit us up
Wait,
wherever you
Before
can.
he leaves,
Yeah.
let me ask him. So how long you been here? 19 years?
19, coming up 20.
All right. So you left there to get away from there. How
Yeah.
much
No,
pussy,
wrestling got me away from that.
how much US pussy are you getting with that accent?
I'm already married, Japanese.
Fair enough.
Sad,
Kayfabe,
so
I
sad.
got it.
I mean, that's what happens, guys, when Michael Jackson molests you and you got to pay for cable. That's just how it goes. But MH
Listen,
Freedom,
before
you guys.
before
Yeah.
you guys go, and I'll shut myself down.
Nah,
but,
go ahead, brother.
hey, thank you for all your content. It's my favorite podcast for a very long time. As soon as you guys came out, I was like 2 months late. But honestly, thank you very much for bringing this to the fucking table. Huge fan. Got to say, Stevie, the Resistance bands are doing great. Bob Holly was at my house. We were abiding on the Resistance bands, and GGP was at my house, sleeping and snoozing after kicking ass and doing the fucking, coast to coast in 48 hours. Ben, what a legend you are. Absolutely intelligent man for the masses.
Yeah,
Yala.
wow.
And Big Sal, man, you're fucking cutting comedy, and your opinions are fantastic. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate you. Just bring the content back to the masses. I'm out of here.
Y'all, Appreciate you, MH Freedom, you guys. Great run in, and awesome at swearing. So we always appreciate that. Go ahead, brother.
Wait,
Comedy.
can
Does he say, is that racist?
Yeah, he said that means you're a New Day fan. Go ahead.
How dare
I was
you?
gonna say
How dare you?
that is what fans should be like. So all you fucking idiots out there that listen to us, fucking know your role and know your
Holy
place.
Christ.
And please have some sensibility, have some courtesy, and just stop trying to be on our level. You're not a horseman. You're a follower. You're a subscriber. You're a fan. We appreciate you following us. We're fans of you guys, but you don't see us come over there and make fun of you or your family. So you're not on our levels to come over here and try to rib us because you're not in the locker room with the boys. You're not one of the boys. But at the end of the day, thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. Know your fucking role and send me all your money to my PayPal account. Thank you very much.
That was a great PSA. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for
Stevie.
being on BBC.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm kind of pumped. I want BBC. I want BBC to clap back, and really go into their ego even harder and get exposed. I want them to flip the dead man switch, and I want them to fucking take it all down, because if where we're going next, is gonna overshadow what that would be. I'd just love to watch them pick apart the bricks like Jenga over there at BBC.
Do you think we should do a little bit of a mailbag just to?
We don't
put,
have
an
time.
intermission,
We don't
or
have
you wanna
time.
go
So much,
straight?
man.
We don't have
All right,
time,
let's
dude.
go.
This is gonna be
Here
it.
it comes.
So if you guys haven't watched Panel Drama on Tommy Robinson's channel, highly suggest it. It's a great gotcha. Fuck you against the system. I hope it gets emulated and takes down CNN and MSNBC, the whole nine. Fuck them all. Let them burn in the streets, and I wouldn't piss on them to put them out if they were on fire. And then another guy who I really want to kind of go to his mausoleum and grab his casket and throw it in a wood chipper, because fuck Michael Jackson to the end of time after this. And that's not just being triggered off of that. We all knew it was what. And if you haven't watched this documentary, was it Leaving Neverland? I believe is the actual title.
Yeah.
It's too powerful. As workers, we can smell the work. You can't have 4 hours of promo and not really have any holes that I could punch in their promos. Sal's got a different opinion. I'm very anxious to hear about. But it's in two parts, 2-hour segments. Starts off very interesting, 25 minutes of introducing you to two families, one middle America family, one in Australia, and showing you their sons. And the one kid is a model who ends up being in the Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial. If you remember it from the 80s, it's the one where the kid sneaks into the green room and tries on all Michael's stuff. And then Michael shows up in the doorway. You looking for me? And the
Sniffing
kid,
his fucking underwear.
yeah, the kid pops or whatever. So that's the kid from America. The other
Meaning he
kid,
laughs, not that he pops. Just
yeah,
actually, that's
And,
just a figure of speech.
that was 2 years later. And then the other kid is a 5-year-old that they dressed up in the bad outfit, who went to a mall and did, not like this kid's a dance prodigy at the time at 5 years old, but dressed like Michael, and the whole crowd pops for him because, the mother went the extra stage mom bit to make him a costume. Michael's playing in Brisbane, Australia. They get to go to the shows and meet him. There's the introduction. After about 25 minutes of, normalizing these two families, nothing too out of the ordinary, but painting the picture of Michael be able to relate to that. Up to this point, where are you guys feeling so far?
Could I set the just really quickly set
Take
the
it away,
stage
man.
of what I thought that this eerily reminded me of, especially with the kid who danced and they dressed him up, JonBenet Ramsey.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, dude. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't get into theater till I was probably 12, 11 in there. That was the first time I started doing that. So I was beyond that. But the stage moms, even at that level, it's all about the parents and not really the kid. You know what I mean? Living vicariously. You see it with sports parents too. And that's what this is there. When JonBenet Ramsey is hitting the nail right on the head. Same shit. Go ahead, Sally.
No, it's and Mom summed it up at the end. Or what's her name? Chuck Moore or Whip Moore Chuck, or I can't remember the fucking kid's name. The not Robson mom.
Yeah.
She's the one who nailed it. She said, again, I know we're skipping past everything,
Go
getting
ahead.
to the end. She said, She goes, I had one job on this planet, to protect my kid, and I fucked up. So you're right.
Mhm.
And again, this leads into, we'll keep going. So, but she nailed it. She nailed it on the head.
That's what's the atonement, the go home, the fucking
Right.
WrestleMania payoff feeling was there after they take you on a long ass fucking ride.
Let's really look at it. She's sitting in the house that he bought. She didn't move out. She didn't sell the
Right.
house.
She should have put a 357 up to her head and fucking pulled it at the end.
That would have been the best ending to that documentary. They were like, I really fucked up as a
The old
mom.
Bud Dwyer.
Yeah.
Blap and Bullet Club, 2008,
Bullet. Yeah, no, like the fact that she's like laughing through it, you can just tell she's a broken woman. She'll never,
Right.
both of them will never get back the semblance.
But you know what? Here you go, man. They'll make it.
Well, but the fact that a cunt like that, who has been through this emotional roller coaster, can come to the grips of saying, I was seduced and for my own edification and want of a bigger life as a stage mom and living vicariously through my kid, and I got it. That allowed me some way to fuck up and allow Michael Jackson to do all this with my kid. At least that's the one shred of integrity before they light the match or fucking, all right, gentlemen, get ready to shoot, in the firing squad. That, do you have any last words? I got to put over that they did fucking take the responsibility on themselves at the end of the day.
But at the end of the day, again, I don't mean to step on that line, but
Sure.
that was coming out of my mouth already. At the end of the day, they weren't losing anything from that. They didn't lose face from it. Like,
They
really,
lost face today, dude. Nobody's going to be like, good for them.
Let's just call a spade, not Jade Spade, the guy you work with
Or
a lot.
David
But
Spade.
let's call a spade. That this documentary, while there are parts that I think is bullshit, I don't believe Robson a fucking lick.
Oof.
I don't believe a lick of what he says.
Okay.
Which one is this one? The Australian one?
No,
or the
this
other
is
Australian.
This is Wade Robson, who ends
Wade
up
Robson.
becoming a very huge choreographer who emulates Michael Jackson's style and
Right.
NSYNC, and Britney Spears hire him.
Fuck him.
I think,
I feel
dude,
I just cannot get behind this kid at all. You had the tools
Mike
the
could get
entire
behind him.
time to fucking bury him. Okay, you could have got your fucking out of court settlement years ago.
Look what he got more by not doing it.
You think so?
Dude,
Well, that's
if
the-
he
that-
would have
that's
if
the-
he
he's
would have
coming out
fucking
of-
done the out of court settlement, he would have been the little kid who sucked Michael Jackson's cock and got abused. The
Nobody
fact
would know
that he went to bat for him and Mike gets found innocent doesn't ruin his Hollywood career in the Hollywood elite pedophile rings. And
Right.
fucking Michael, aside from diddling him and being my best friend, you're my best friend. I'm sure Michael was teaching him fucking crazy dance moves and mentoring him. And when you see him dancing throughout this, you can see that he's emulating Michael's style. And of course, NSYNC's going to want that. Britney Spears is going to
Justin
want
Timberlake
that.
was
Yeah,
huge.
Justin Timberlake, all that shit. So that's all he was really doing, was passing on. And dude, in this, Sal, I just don't know how you can't not, unless he was fed. But go ahead.
Here's my thing. I don't feel, and again, I was trying to think of how I was going to put this all day, because it's going to come out fucked up, and
Sure.
but it's to me, I just feel like
This whole thing's fucked up, so it can't be
no,
any
the
more
whole thing
funny.
is fucked up, and you know my stance on the pedophilia and the
Yeah.
whole bit. The fact that this kid just kept it because Michael Jackson they were in love. He was in love with Michael Jackson. Okay, so that was his whole thing. I was in love with him. Obviously, he's a gay kid, and he's in love with him, and he went through this whole bit, and everything Michael Jackson did, he touched his dick and did all this other shit. Okay.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, no. Well, apparently, quarter of real life is yes, Michael Jackson did it. So, the fact that this kid turned 14 and now looks like a man, because compared to Michael Jackson, he's a man. Michael Jackson tried to butt fuck him. I don't buy it. I don't buy that a lick, not even a little bit. And then, for Michael Jackson to call him the next day and be like, "Throw away your underwear," it just doesn't make sense. If
Okay,
Michael
but that's
Jackson was a
one
predator-
instance of when this kid was fucking 5 in Australia.
And this is my other
He
problem.
seduces the family. They have the timeline of photos of everything. It breaks up their family, and the mother moves the kid there. And I mean, it's all there. You see the seduction that Michael lays down, like any pedophile classic case is going to be, to get close. And then once they're close with the family and the mother's like, he was like my son, like, you know, and he's in there, then it's like, all right, we're all going to Paris together and your hotel room's here. But then on the next place we're staying on the tour, your hotel room's 6 more away. And then it's on the fucking far end. And that's when I'm going to be like, well, I want little one to stay with me and we're going to have fun playing soccer balls. But the reality is it's the first time he's teaching him how to masturbate. And then he makes him go over there and fucking pull his ass cheeks apart while he's looking at a fucking 7-year-old's asshole jerking himself off. Right there, dude. You're done, bro.
But that's the point. That's the one of many times that the parents had every opportunity. And they even had a conversation.
But this is 2 years into the seduction.
So Michael Jackson, this is the one part that I don't understand about the parents. So you're fucking Michael Jackson. You're the biggest star in the world. You're probably the most known person, more than the president or any other person that's worldwide, you know, notoriety. And you can't get somebody to switch rooms.
Thank you.
You can't, you know, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm Michael Jackson, but rules are rules.
But that's the fuck that he put in. That's the long, that's the
happened.
long-term work.
I'm just saying the parents should have been like,
yeah,
this is
my,
yeah.
But dude, that's the thing. You're giving them everything. They went from 2 bedrooms, 2 fucking bathrooms to staying in the fucking penthouse in Paris. You know, like, that's just so, I'm not trying to go to bat for these people, but like, that's the true, that reveals his true evil nature. That he knew it was going to be an 18-month, 2-year seduction with this much money spent before I can finally make my move to get this kid started down that path. And once I do that, as both of them talked, and actually the kid who, when they showed the fucking stooge off in part 2, when the cops are talking to him, what's the first thing that kid says? He showed me how to masturbate, and then he had to do that. Like, his fucking pattern through all 3 kids is identical in how he fucking sets it up to get to that next level.
Time out. See, let me just get this out too. This is, as far as my view of this goes, I am blaming 100% these parents. 100%. Those parents eat a railroad spike. And I'm not saying Michael Jackson is innocent. Michael Jackson is fucked up. He has a lot going on in his head, and I'm not saying I'm not cool with any of it. Okay? He has his thing. But as a pedophile, we've watched enough fucking documentaries on pedophiles. We've read the fucking reports of these guys. This is not like a pedophile grooms. Okay? A pedophile takes forever to groom.
Yeah.
But a pedophile also moves on. Why aren't there 1,100 kids? Michael Jackson.
There are, dude. These are only 4 in a documentary. Think about fucking kids in Japan, in Africa, where he just had them go fucking pull kids off the street because he knew there was never going to be anything. All that shit went on too, Sal. You can't think that it didn't.
This is the ultimate Jedi fucking mind trick. This makes MK Ultra and any fucking CIA mind control look like fucking minor league shit, dude. Straight up. He desensitized the parents. He infiltrated the family system.
Why would Michael Jackson go to the fucking suburbs to hang out in pajamas in a kid's fucking room? A $140,000 house, dude.
Let me ask you a question. What if this was Michael Jackson was a girl, a female? How about this? Let me just work with me for a second. Gwen Stefani. She's fucked up. She goes crazy. She starts doing this wacky shit. She has the money to pull it off. And she starts going to some girl's house in the suburbs and is like, oh, we're hanging out, we're having parties and shit. It's fucking weird. It's crazy weird. The guy had a fucking chip.
I would suspect her for doing some weird fucking shit too.
But that's the thing. Immediately, we've suspected him. Now, by all intents and purposes, what we're saying is anybody who showed kindness to children is a pedophile. Because extended, I'm going to say extended, not just like when he walks by and he kisses kids on the head. I'm not saying, oh, look what he's doing. He's getting off on it. No, I'm talking about the shit that's going on. I'm not saying he is innocent of it. I'm not. But at the same time, I think that there is a lot of
look at what we've looked at symbolically, where they have to change these NAMBLA groups, change the symbolism, they change the vernacular. And here he is calling a fucking 8, 9-year-old every day on the phone for hours. Hey, this is Applehead. I'm calling little one. Like already doing fucking names, right? Like all these little fucking tricks, dude.
Accent on the phone all the time.
Yeah, like
That was
British.
really-
I'd like to hang out with you, mate. Like, yeah, come on. Like,
Well, that's the whole thing about the grooming.
Yeah,
You're
that's
talking about
all
and
grooming,
how long
dude.
it takes. This is so accelerated when you take into account the fame, the money, the access as far as these not most of these kinds of people aren't able to say, hey, here's an entire amusement park to kind of,
Right.
desensitize your kid and make them feel like this. And then the thing of going over their house to think I'm so lonely gives them the sympathy card with the parents. Also with this, they both families saw some kind of potential in their kid for fame. The commercial,
that's the
and
stage mom, bro.
choreography,
Yeah.
That's where the parents, and there's probably parents that are still doing it today in Hollywood because there's a history of it with child actors and
Dude, in sports too, there's people who redshirt their kid at 6th fucking grade because they think they're gonna go pro. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying that that's what XFL wants next season. but dude, this is what we're looking at. The parents in their mind are saying, this is 100% wrong. Well, let's see if we can only make it 10 or 20% wrong, and we can live with it and cash in
Right.
a little bit off the kid. Am I wrong? It's
100%
degrees of evil that they're looking at that are the acceptable level,
This
no
is
pun
acceptably
intended,
normal.
of getting fucked.
Right. Yes.
And go ahead, GGP, take it.
No, I was gonna say from a parent's point of view, coming up in this world and seeing how fucked up this world is, you encounter a scenario like that, and if you don't realize there's something fucking wrong, then one or two things. One, you're as dumb as Armand, or two, you are fucking just turning a blind eye to cash in, like Stevie says. So instead of something being very, very bad, it's only a little bit bad, but you know what? It's not being done to me. It's being done to my kid. He'll live with it. I'll live with it. And it's fucking wrong. So
Right.
that's what I wanted to say.
But
I
now
think
again,
spot on.
I'm trying. I don't want to seem sympathetic to Michael Jackson living in his bullshit world that he made. He lived above everyone else.
How about when he said to him, I got this place just for you, to the fucking Australian kid. Or no, that was the other dude the kid that he
before or
married.
after the wedding.
Yeah, that was
Bedroom.
before that was before it because they got married at Neverland in his bedroom and the dude
I was
fucking
just
pulls out the
kidding. It's
ring.
just, if you look at that pattern, it's
Yeah.
Huh, Sal?
Dude.
Sal squirt. You see
that
that
guy- I'm
fucking
not
let's
squirting,
get a
no, I'm not
screenshot of
squirting at
that
all.
fucking face.
I'm not squirting
That
at
guy's
all.
full of shit a little bit too, man.
Fuck,
Because
Dude,
if it really bothered him, then why the fuck did he keep the ring?
No, well,
Bro,
you
why
wait
did
till
you
you haven't watched a second half yet. I don't want to be like, you haven't
No.
watched a second half, but like, dude, the second half, when people are like, the first half will enrage you, the second half will make you sad. It makes you sad because of that dude. He's shell shocked, bro. In the second part promos, it's all about how fucked up that dude really is.
Well, listen, it's look what Michael Jackson allegedly did through what these guys are telling us. He went in there, he turned them on their parents. It's us against them.
Yeah,
Don't
and he
trust-
did
don't
that with the
trust
fucking
anybody.
dude he paid off too. He tried to do that with
Yeah,
the kid he paid
don't
off.
trust anybody. They want to separate us. And if you tell anybody what we do about our love, we're gonna go to jail. We'll never see each other.
How about that he was
Come
running? How about that he was running drills with them? Let's get our clothes on as fast as we can, and we'll do that. And
He had
then
the
he
bells,
also
the
had
bells
bell.
in the
Yeah,
hallway, right?
come on, Sal. Come on.
Whoa, whoa. Come on, Sal. What? I'm not saying.
Show
he
us
didn't
where
do
he
it.
touched you, Sal.
Hang on. Now this is a true
Show
story.
us on the
True
doll
story.
where in New
Hi,
Jersey.
Sal.
Nova,
I got some certain
back in the
pajamas
day-
for you.
Back
show
in
us
the
on the
day,
Funko Pop.
Yeah, I've got a black hole on
Nova
the
bought the book.
Funko.
He had
Where
a
did he
book on
touch
the
you?
Michael Jackson shit where the kid drew the dick picture of Michael Jackson. What does dick look like?
Well, he drew a fuck, and that was in the Vanity Fair article. He drew the fuck after Vitilargo on the bottom of Michael
Right.
Jackson's cock, whatever it looks
Which
like.
nobody would know unless you saw it.
Right, and
So
fucking,
I-
and then that was sealed until after Michael Jackson died, and they opened that.
That was in a book.
That was
years
some
ago.
amazing
Nova had the
Kreskin
book.
shit. Like I picture Michael Jackson's
No,
cock is.
That's what I'm saying, man. Back in the day, Nova had that book because Nova is a Michael Jackson fan. Believes never did the thing, never did it. That was his opinion back then. He had this book, and the book had the kid's drawing of the dick with the vitiligo on it.
Stevie,
So
can you
it's a
get
lot of
Nova
whatever.
on the phone and patch him in real quick?
Yeah, I can actually.
You want to call him up? So the fact is, he had the book, and I saw that. When I saw that, I was like, that's, to me, that was damning evidence. I'm like, how the fuck is anybody going to know? How is anybody going to know that unless they saw it? So for me, that was like, boom, done. But then, all this, like, to me, I couldn't get past that.
How about going
Because-
back to the original interview with the Indian guy there from way back in the day, where he's like, "It's totally normal to sleep in a bed with children."
Right. Well, see, that was the other part. At that point, that guy, he was out of his fucking mind. He was
listen.
so drugged up, dude. He was out of his fucking.
He's a worker, bro.
Dude,
He's
this,
a worker.
all that fucking, they stole my childhood and I love Peter Pan was nothing more than his worker front to fucking get close to make these families feel, oh, let's just feel sorry for him. He never had a childhood. He's just like a little boy. Look at him interact with my little boy. That whole time, all that is a work, bro. Just to get to the point of, once I get him masturbating, then I can get my dick in an 8-year-old's mouth, which he did. He fucking did it. And then, oh, we sleep in the same bed. And the dude stooges off that he woke up, and Michael goes, oh, I just kissed you down there. Like, dude, get the fucking
way,
get the Rottweilers and rip his fucking throat
Why
out.
does you doing the voice make me more uncomfortable than actually watching
Hey,
the
guys.
documentary where the guy's like, and then I had his dick in my mouth. I wasn't as uncomfortable as listening to Ben do the fucking voice.
I was going to say this is pure speculation, but he couldn't have invented these techniques all on his own or read books. There's a heavy hint that he was groomed at a young age through the music industry, through whoever he dealt with.
You know who I
This
think did
is-
it to him? Is Sammy Davis Jr. with the fucking satanic shit.
Explain that. You said that last night. What's the history with Saturday?
So Sammy
Wait,
Davis
hold on,
Jr.
Don't say anything.
All right.
Don't say anything. I got this. Let me wait, I'm going to channel Ben. Sammy Davis was a Satanist and he was the pedophile lead in Hollywood, so he automatically got Michael Jackson and gave him the fingers up to blast the asshole. That's what you're going to say.
Well, he was a Satanist for the fact of what? To fit in
Because-
with them.
Yeah, to get into the group with everybody.
And-
get his fucking black
and
folk
hey,
because
do you-
they were scared
Hey,
of black
Blizz, do you want to bring in this
He was a
fucking new
Jewish
kid
guy,
into the
too.
group? Do you want to bring in this
Play with
fucking new
Jews.
kid who you can get? Who's a song and dance man who we can all fucking pass around? You think
It's a good Sambo we could pass on. Oh, this Michael Jackson kid.
doesn't that? Do you think Joe Jackson wouldn't go take my fucking son for the week
Joe
if you're gonna
Jackson
make
took
him?
the money. He was like, I got this for you. Here's the boy.
And
Bye-bye.
and exactly, and then there's
I got
fucking
four more.
yeah, baby, yeah, let's bring him over here, right? It was
I'm
fucking
waiting for
creepy
that one.
eye.
Yeah, that's a
baby,
good
yeah.
one.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, and
Like Groucho
and
Marx just kind of
yeah,
like
Grou-
merged with Sammy
that's
Davis
it.
Jr.
Groucho Jr. Right? And he puts it out there. Dude, to me, that is a very viable pattern of abuse that could have started this whole thing.
Well, that wouldn't be too far fetched. Like you said, it's the music industry. It's Hollywood. Look at Open Secret.
And
Look
it's
at all these
and
things
it,
that-
and it fits the timeline.
Kind of does. Who's the producer? The big
Quincy Jones, wasn't it?
Quincy
Quincy.
Jones, wasn't he? Didn't they say that he had some kind of
Yep.
casting couch with Will Smith and all these other
All
guys?
of them,
and,
yep.
I mean, who knows what's true and what's not true? But you know, it is what it is.
I would not doubt if they were fucking front and back training Quincy Jones and fucking gimmick on Michael Jackson in 1976.
Look, this guy, Michael
Spirit of
Jackson, he was
76.
he was actually Captain America.
Yeah,
I
babe.
don't know about that.
You know, how this babe, you know.
But
Was that
the,
Dennis
uh,
Miller or?
Yeah.
You guys, you know what I mean, babe?
It's like Michael Jackson in the
no,
spirit
Tommy,
of
wasn't that
76,
Tommy
babe.
from Living Color? What was the dude's name? Tommy from Living Color.
Tommy Davidson. Yeah.
Yeah, he did the best one.
Babe.
You know, babe. I'm a gentleman. I felt Dragon Trainer too, baby.
I
You know
killed
what
it at stand up, by the way, but it was fun.
What I was saying about Michael Jackson, dude, what people don't know about him, he is a mark for P.T. Barnum from the circus life because he knew what had to be done to put on a show to have these people believe. So a lot of the shit that we saw in front of the cameras, I wouldn't be surprised if it was
Sucker born
all
everything.
fuck. Yeah, if it was all smoke and mirrors, dude.
Okay.
You know, the whole Neverland thing.
I
Like you
wouldn't even
said,
doubt if he drops the voice behind the fucking
yeah, me
scenes when
too,
he's
'cause I've
really.
heard rumors.
That's-
And I
Hey,
heard this, and
motherfucker,
then I
that's
fucked that
motherfucker.
fucking kid in his mouth.
Talk to everybody later. I love you all. These motherfuckers gotta be out their mind.
Tito, Tito,
Now I heard.
break
I was listening
yourself,
to a podcast,
motherfucker.
they were
Would that be
talking
something?
to-
He was beating Joe. He was the kid. He beat
He
up
was
Joe
the fucking
Jackson all
whooping
along.
his ass. Give me that belt, Joe. Give me the belt. I heard on a podcast from his lawyer
Tito.
that Tito, everybody goofs on Tito for being the fucking cum catcher of the group. So, was actually the one who was like liquidating assets to pay for the trials. He was the guy keeping everything running. Tito was fucking juggling everything and making all of this happen. And the fact that Santa Barbara came at Michael so hard, like there was completely.
Well, he did
for the last
I
witness
love
that they
Santa
had.
Barbara. I live here. It's my community. Everybody's behind me. I'm behind you, and I'm behind your kids.
Totally behind that one.
Hey, motherfucker, get off my lawn.
Break yourself, motherfucker.
Tito, get on my dick.
Imagine Michael Jackson holding the gun sideways, coming out in that row.
Jermaine, get the strap. Get the strap, Jermaine.
Michael
he's having-
Jackson's doing drive-bys in Santa Barbara.
Oh shit. Okay, but actually,
By the way, your
I'm-
double entendres are really on in this segment. You know, coming at him hard. and
Yeah,
everything.
it's on.
I will say, GGP has actually put a what?
I'm just laughing because I can't imagine that. Could you imagine us alternate commentary on the DVD for this fucking document? God,
Put this picture in your head: Michael Jackson
Ugh.
in butt naked, except for a cowboy belt and a little tiny, like a toy cowboy hat, coming at some kid with a fucking gun, but it's a shoot gun. But
Bang,
anyway,
bang.
bang, bang, bitch. Shuts the door. Okay, bye. We'll see you later.
All right.
motherfucker.
Get down, motherfucker. Get on that floor.
Oh, you're
You better
dead.
tongue my sack, motherfucker. Hee hee.
We
But-
lost like 12 people in the
What's
fucking
fucked?
channel already.
The fact GGP actually has brought up a good point that I didn't think of. He did have that obsession with P.T. Barnum because here's my angle on it. I know he's guilty. I'm not saying, again, I will repeat this. I do not think he is innocent. I do.
Then why would you think the Wade dude is bullshit?
Bullshit. I'm not saying he didn't get his fucking nuts juggled. I believe he did. I just don't believe everything he says just because he waited. He waited for this fucking cunt to die.
Well,
Like,
yeah, dude, I got to put him over almost as a worker in the fact that, like,
job. He waited until he didn't get the fucking job at fucking Jerk de Soleil that Mike was doing. He didn't get that bit that he wanted. So now it's like, oh well, fuck him. He rubbed my asshole. No, dude, you don't do that now. You do it when he was alive. You call him out. You put him on the fucking. Then at the end of if I could save one kid.
well, that's not Sal. Are we putting people on blast right now in the wrestling biz who we know do fucked up shit? Are we talking openly about Lawler's
really quickly.
Are we talking
Real
about
quickly.
openly about Lawler's indiscretions and putting him on blast? And that's what this kid didn't do either. He waited till he's fucking dead. When Lawler's dead, I'll fucking go out and say some fucked up shit.
Let
Yeah,
me,
but
let
you
me
weren't
just say
there.
really
We don't know
quickly
for
to
a
explain
fact.
to everybody.
But I know firsthand
This is how
accounts.
This is how we talk in the locker room, by the way.
Yeah.
The trying to bring comedy from this terrible, terrible fucking thing
Sure.
that could or could not have happened. Yeah, and this did kind of the analogy once again is to the old school wrestling stories that we heard from Memphis with grooming and stuff, mothers, daughters, crazy shit, right?
Yeah, at the same time, right?
What
If
do you
you can
mean?
get that over, you can get over on a fucking 7-year-old.
What grooming in Memphis?
Well, that's.
Take your time,
Come on,
take your
fucking
time
shut up.
machine and go back. That'll be a fun fucking trip for you.
Oh, I'm too anxious.
Who's this young hot baby face in the
What's
locker
going on,
room? Well,
sweetheart?
boys, my boy, my boy. Mm.
No, Bert Prentice, don't touch me. Oh, stop.
But no. But what I was saying is, I never looked at Michael Jackson as a predator. And bear with me, because I always saw him as being too scared, being too afraid to do any kind of shit like that. That's how I envisioned it. GGP actually brought up a good point with the P.T. Barnum thing. You know, the Elephant Man Bones, and he had a love of P.T. Barnum because he loved the show. And that, again, I understand. It's, you know, the fact that he's a worker. And that escapes you sometimes, and it escaped me because I never thought that the whole show. I'm watching this going, man, it's miserable hearing this happen. Okay. Wade Dobson, do I believe him? I don't 100% believe him. I believe something happened. I don't believe his bullshit altruism at the end. I don't swallow it all. I can't do it. I can't do it for him to say, if I can protect just one guy, I don't buy it.
Sure, but that's the go home. That's the wrap up that they got to do.
Who cares? Who cares what it is? I don't buy it. I don't like it. That was my opinion.
Okay.
I'm not saying Michael Jackson didn't do it. The fact, and I, again, this is GGP. I really, the P.T. Barnum angle never crossed my mind with Michael Jackson, and that's from growing up with it, watching him and seeing him and the whole bit. Never thinking, he's a worker. He's just a mess. He's a mess.
Here's the part that fucked me up the most. I mean, after bombshell, what comes out, we've seen the family seduced and now he's, right, diddling with the kid or whatnot. How about when the dude goes, he like takes you through a walk of Neverland Ranch and tells you where every little secret side room is. And he goes, and there we had oral sex, and there we had sex, and then we were in the theater, and there's these rooms that have like police glass where you can see out but you can't see in, and that was kind of dangerous, but we were having sex in there. And I'm just saying it, I'm talking about Michael Jackson with a 9-year-old.
Right.
And it's like 14 rooms he fucking walks you through, and they flash the actual room up there of like, and it looks like the movie Big when he fucking has all the toys or whatever, right? And like, you're gonna go fuck in that room, and then let's go play with teddy bears, and then we'll go see the giraffe, and we'll play with Bubbles the monkey, and then you can go blow me in my cowboy hat later. Like, it's all this weird.
Do you think he called it something different? Do you think he made up words?
Oh, absolutely, dude. I mean, you heard him on the fucking phone call calling himself Applehead.
What do you think when he was like, "Hey, Wade, come here and touch"? What do you think he said?
What do I think he said?
Yes.
I couldn't even get into his mind at that point. I don't know. Funny fucking lollipop or Tootsie Roll or fucking, I don't know.
No. Okay, so here's the thing. And I know people think I'm sticking up for Michael Jackson. I'm not. I'm just giving you my opinion. My fucking opinion was I never considered him a worker.
Well, can I play a little devil's advocate?
But
here?
now I look at him as a huge worker, living the gimmick.
He really put it up with the P.T. Barnum reference, because I'm like, fuck, he was a worker, and it's a revelation. And I'm not afraid to say, wow, my mind has changed, because it happens. That's all.
You do that for religion, then we be a fucking.
Well, let's not get out of hand. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, but it's going to go the other way. It's not going to be us telling you. It's going to be you fucking like, enough of this shit.
Well, listen. Let's look at some facts here, and this is before I was telling you guys I was having trouble to find this fucking thing to watch it to begin with because the link wasn't working. I totally forgot I have HBO, and I just went on the HBO Go app because that's how I was able to watch it.
Wow.
Right. So, okay. So here we go. Here's a couple things that kind of stuck out on me. One, before I watched the documentary, I watched a couple of interview segments with the Jackson family, right? They're saying it's bullshit. They're claiming his innocence, his nephews, his brothers, whatever. Then they interviewed the guys in the video, whatever. Same story they told you in the video. They're going to tell you in front of all these talk shows. Then they interviewed the director. And they asked the director, how come you didn't go to the Jackson estate, who's suing you now, and HBO is suing you for this documentary. Oh, not HBO. I'm sorry. Jackson's estate is suing HBO for the documentary. Why don't you go to them and the Jackson family and get their point of view? And his answer was this. Well, what would the Jackson family know about Michael Jackson touching little boys or molesting children? They weren't there. So even if they want to vouch for their brother, they truly don't know 100% because they weren't there. And this movie isn't about Michael. It's about these two individuals that were victims of Michael Jackson. So he had a valid point. Then I watched the first hour. If he never went to the Jackson estate at all, how did he get rights to film the land and all the flowers and the rooms and
that's all B-roll footage that Michael had shot.
Where?
There's tons of Neverland. Like, remember when the first court
police video,
when the first court case went down, like, what was it, 16 years ago? That's B-roll footage from them.
Okay, but if that's the case and the Jackson estate's suing them, Can't they sue him for the rights not be shown during the documentary because he didn't ask for permission?
I
sure there's- I'm
don't
sure there's,
know when it comes to aerial overhead and what
Because
the actual
he
is.
didn't only show footage from the ranch, Neverland Ranch. He showed Michael Jackson's likeness, his voice, pictures, video clips from concerts.
Well, that's all stuff from the. Well, I don't know about the video. I don't want to say all stuff, but a lot of that's from the families,
videos, dude.
from the family stuff.
Actually, Tunnels is actually saying in the room, HBO did a doc a few years back. They own that footage, so they could have.
Oh, is that the Martin Bashir one?
The Bashir, Martin
The
Bashir
fucking
stuff.
sandbag video.
So a lot of that could be, but that's good points forensic wise. That's
Can you hear that?
What the?
Can you do that?
That's my sound pad. I loaded a hee hee. You
yeah.
like it?
Yes.
Yes.
And you guys, we will now have a debate, and whoever wins will get the.
You know what the lady
That's
said to
worth
Michael?
$600 right there, isn't it?
Yeah, did Nova fave us or no? Or is
What?
did Nova fave?
He hasn't texted me back,
Oh,
so
okay.
he does not get a.
I messaged him too.
Do you know what the lady told Michael Jackson at the beach?
Oh,
Excuse me, can you get out of my son?
oh yeah. All right.
So-
I don't get that.
Here's one thing, Sal. I'm gonna jump to your side for a minute. Is
We lost more viewers just from the hee hee. sound clip.
from the 2016 to 2019 glasses we look at the world with now during Swamp Drain, Harvey Weinstein, Cosby, whatever. I was looking at that footage and I was trying to put myself in that 87, 89 Michael Jackson bad mindset, right? All the way to Black or White, 91, whatever it was. And I was thinking, who is even remotely close to that superstar power-wise? And I can only think of Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, and Hulk Hogan, probably, of that era. And none of them really are at his level of Michael Jackson's. Those are like the three runners up, you know what I mean? Who were money makers. And we saw what happened to Mike Tyson, how they would have crucified him, but that was, they're going to want to get him for that. Where looking at it at that star power and nobody questioned that, heal the world, make it a better place. He hangs out with kids, and then the limo door opens and that little kid runs out and runs to the hotel, and then Mike comes out through the sea of people. It seems so innocent at the time, and now you look at it through the Harvey Weinstein fucking lens. If you saw any other imagine LeBron James fucking shows up. And a white 6-year-old fucking darts out of his limo to the fucking arena. What are people going to be saying and thinking if that happens every day, where all the paparazzi is for a month, where LeBron James is, and he's like, I just like hanging out with this kid. I had my child taken away from me. I like hanging out with this little white 6-year-old. Nothing's going on.
Nova's ready. We're gonna call him. Let's call Nova.
Okay.
Call Nova.
Okay.
Calling him right now.
Did you Skype him in?
Yeah, I got it on the console here. There, you hear it?
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Look at this fancy shit.
We going, sis. We going, sis. We're like,
Yo,
sir.
what's up, man?
Yo, what's up,
Oh,
Nova? You're on
shit.
the Conspiracy Horsemen, Big Sal, Greek God Papadon, and Ben Hameen. We're
Oh
talking
my
about
God.
Yeah.
What a group.
Nova, hang on.
we're
Nova.
talking
Oh my
about
God.
I'm gonna let Ben just ease it in, as Michael Jackson
Like
would
Michael
say, and
Jackson
talk
would.
to you about what we're since you're a huge Michael Jackson fan, so I'll let Ben take it away.
Simon D. Nova joining the show tonight, guys. Thank you for joining us, man. We talked Tommy Robinson earlier, but now we're talking about the new Michael Jackson leaving Neverland, and it was put over that you were kind of definitely a non-believer at the time when the Martin Bashir stuff happened in the trial, and we wanted to see if you'd watch this and kind of get your take on it, and if your opinion has changed at all, or if there's anything that we're missing that you might want to point out.
I don't know. First of all, I always thought this conspiracy horseman thing was a work. I didn't know it's an actual real group of 4 people that does this. I didn't know what it was when I saw it on the internet. I thought you guys talking about it all the time. I didn't know this was an actual thing. So I'm honored to be on it.
Well, we're honored to have you, man.
Oh.
It's great. You're
Whatever-
welcome
whatever
back
it
for
takes,
anything
Ben.
else.
I mean,
Nova.
you, Papa Donald. Yes.
Question, bro. Do you remember when you brought
Yes.
the book in when you brought the Michael Jackson book in with the picture of his fucking gimmick?
Possibly.
Yeah, and you brought.
I mean,
that was the picture that the kid said that's the picture of Michael Jackson's penis, and he drew the little mark on MJ's dick.
Oh, it was like a handwritten,
Right.
a hand
Right.
illustrated photo. Yeah.
Yes, and from that point on, I was like, well, how can you deny that? So to me, it was like,
I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
and I know you were a proponent of his innocence at that point. At that point.
I didn't see the new gimmick yet. I didn't see it.
Oof.
Yeah,
I'm too
it's
cheap
brutal.
to buy HBO.
It's brutal.
I'm too cheap to buy HBO.
Ben
So I
will
think
show
it's
you how
something-
to get
Yeah,
around
well,
that.
Yeah, I can
that.
send you a link out for laptop, man. You can just watch it on there. There'll be a couple pop-ups, but you'll be fine.
That's what I need. But here's the thing. This is we don't know what went through the mind of Michael Jackson or what's occurred with Michael Jackson. As a parent, and I don't know if any of you guys have kids. I don't think so, right? I think all you guys.
I have 37 of them, dude.
Yeah, Papadon does, but the rest of us.
Papa Don got a litter.
But I do. You maybe look at things a little bit differently, but I don't know if Michael did or didn't or whatnot. I have no idea. But what I would say is this: if there was ever a human being, probably in the history of the world, that could. Are we allowed to curse on this podcast?
Yeah,
or what?
fuck yeah, man.
Go ahead.
If there's ever anybody in the history of the world who could have been really fucked up from the earliest age, from the age of 5 years old, if you look at Michael Jackson's background, and this is certainly not condoning, but maybe an explanation of if he did go south, how this could have happened. Through the upbringing and Joe and everything else you read about and research is all vindicated. It's all true. Not only that, but I would dare say probably from the time he was like 10 years old to when he died, especially in the second half of his life, from teens on, he was arguably the most famous, recognized human being. I wouldn't only say then, but I would put him in the same category as everybody from a Mother Teresa, a Pope,
Sure.
The most famous historical figures who have ever lived. And to just, I can't even comprehend. We've all had a level of fame that made us uncomfortable to some degree at times. Maybe not Papa Don. He likes his fame. But in general,
I'm just happy you said I got fame.
we just don't know. I don't know what that could do to somebody. I have no clue. I just think that I don't necessarily know if he did do all that, if that was something he was born with or turned into, just because of the surroundings and the environment and this weird, twisted fantasy world that he lived in. And it just seemed like he was doomed from the start if he did all that. We don't know.
Well,
I mean,
you got a good point in the fact that most people who abuse sexual abusers, child abusers, are repeating a pattern along the same way they're victims of something that happened to them. And right before we brought you on, we were just, ribbon locker room wise hypothesizing, did Joe Jackson pretty much sell him to Quincy Jones for a weekend, fun run, and when he was whatever young age there.
Also, make sure you throw Sammy Davis
And Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
They were double teaming him. You know how they do, babe. And
I mean, maybe, I don't know who, but I would say that Michael, they already had Steam and all that way before Q and all that. I don't know, man. I mean, it's just to have that level of life-altering, life-changing. There's nobody we can compare it to.
Yeah.
Not even like an Elvis or any of that shit. Like, there's nobody. It's him and then a huge gap and everybody else who's ever performed or been in the public eye ever.
Well, no, I'm going to send you this, and I want to check back in with you because I really want to hear your opinion. Because even talking Elvis, look at the beard that his daughter was for Michael Jackson while that was going on, and they put this over.
Yeah.
I think once you watch the promos of these two guys that detail their whole journey from age 5 to 10 and 7 to 14 of how he seduced their families, it really and even once the sexual stuff started. There's 3 of them that show this same pattern of, all right, it was all a work, I'm the boy who never grew up, all that shit is just to fucking get in the door and do a 2-year seduction where you pay for them to travel around the world until you can finally endear the kid and get them to trust you, and then it starts. And that's really what this whole thing's about, man.
I mean, that's what I saw. I read the gimmick on it and all that and checked it out. I mean, to a degree, I get that. But my only head scratch on it was like all this shit happened so many years ago, like 30 years ago, all this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys got paid, the families got paid, all this other stuff. Where was all this for the last 10, 20, 30 years? Like,
Thank you.
they tried, you know what I mean? Like, that's my thing on it.
That is
Well,
my point.
Again, as a parent, if Michael, I don't give a fuck what dollar
don't
amount
say
would
that.
come to me.
Don't say it.
I don't give a
Nova, you can't say that because now you're agreeing with pedophiles.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is I don't care what the dollar amount that Michael Jackson would quote unquote offer me to buy my silence. Any sane, rational human being on earth, if there's any indication on this at all, would have killed Michael Jackson. They would have never stopped till they got him. So
and
I don't know.
That was another point I wanted to make. Did nobody see a lack of venom on this fucking documentary?
Yeah, dude. His brother, the one dude's brother, was fucking livid that the Australian mom took their whole family, and then the accuser who won the 10 million and that one dude's dad both
And he
committed
was so livid.
suicide.
Yeah, well, the one dude hung himself, which was dumb. But the whole point of the fact that he's like, I don't know if I'll ever forgive my ma'am. Like, that's not livid. That's not angry. There's no rage involved. I would have been fucking screaming and yelling and throwing shit, thinking about Michael Jackson fucking my brother, or thinking about Michael Jackson doing this to my brother, destroying my family, hanging my dumb Australian father. I would have been crazy.
I mean, we were all teenagers back then. Like, we remember all this shit. It all happened. It's not like we were in the dark ages. There was communication, press, TV, a way to get steam. I mean, it's not like we communicated with telegraphs. I mean, so there was so many other scandals and trials. Every time we turned around, there was a big to-do about somebody back then. Shit, we survived OJ. So, I mean, there's always a scandal or something broke. But besides those little couple things that came out, a trial here or there, like, there was just never a blockbuster, aha, got you, any of that. It just all, like, I guess, got hush-hushed under the table and paid. And now, 30 years later, 10 years after he's dead? Well, I just don't understand the booking.
Well, do you? Because right before you came out, I kind of had to half stooge it off of, like, they waited till he was dead because this dude cashed in. He was a choreographer for NSYNC and Britney Spears, probably because he kept his mouth fucking shut. How many people in the wrestling industry, Nova, do we know of stories like this that are on ice right now until that person dies, and then they're going to fucking drop as well? The boys in the locker room will still protect people who do shitty things, who, you know, from the Memphis era that we could easily stooge off.
Yeah, I agree. Like, when Sal Graziano passes, there's probably going to be a lot of stuff.
Oh, there's going to be tons.
You've already missed that. I've passed like 4 times.
But we can throw out some Balls Mahoney stories with no issue at this time. You know what I mean?
No, we did that when he was alive,
we
too.
did that
It's
when he was
okay.
alive, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, by the
I
way,
don't know,
Nova, here's the deal, though. I think we can all agree that there's absolutely, after you watch the documentary, you'll still feel this way. There's absolutely not one innocent party throughout this whole situation.
That's what I would say. All the money people, the enablers, the handlers, if all this went down, Michael Jackson did not put on the fucking hamburger outfit and sneak into kids' houses and kidnap in the middle of the night. So is all the people around them, just like it's just like the R. Kelly stuff.
Yeah.
Just like the R. Kelly deal, the whole deal.
This is going to fuck R. Kelly more than R. Kelly's own actions are. The Michael Jackson shit, they're going to fucking crucify him based off of people's vitriol for Michael.
Somebody has to answer for it.
Right.
So be it that Michael's dead, they're not going to go after his estate. They're not going to do this. They're not going to take his music off TV because in the society, in the world that we live in, Michael's dead. There's no other side to come back on this. There's no living victim to thrust this on, in a sense, like Michael's the victim. Oh, well, let's get him in court. There's none of that. So this will all be gone. Nobody's going to give a shit about this in 3 months.
No.
So, but R. Kelly will be prolonged because he's here. More people are going to come out. He's doing promos. He's cutting shit on TV. So like that, he's going to take the heat for it. But the Michael shit is just, I just don't understand what rational human being on earth had a single hint of their child being victimized and just said, well, fuck it. You know, he's giving us bubbles for the weekend and giving us $1 million. We're good.
Marks.
I just don't get it.
Just marks. That's all they were, dude.
I guess. I mean, I don't. Were they working at fucking 2300 Arena with the rest of us under the mind control? I mean, I don't know. I just don't get
Yeah,
it. I mean,
Michael Jackson saw Paulie's speech at Barely Legal and said, "Hold my fucking beer."
Yeah.
Watch this. You know?
Hold my Jesus juice.
Yeah.
Is the fucking dance. Make no mistake about it. But I don't know, man. It's ridiculous. There's no winner in it. I mean, it's not like these guys are like, hey, guess what? We told our story. But I don't know. It's so weird and bizarre. We'll never see anybody in our life ever again who reach that level of fame. It's never going to happen because it's too easy to become famous today, but it's very easy to lose your fame. And people's attention spans, they're so short now, they don't give a shit. They're always waiting for the next new thing to come around. So we're never going to see anybody like that again.
Right.
We can't explain it to people, the level of what he was. So I don't know if that mind fucked him or warped him or what. I have no clue. But I just don't. The guy did so much good too. It's almost like how could he be such one and the other? You know, it's just like.
As a worker, I think you're going to look at him as an ultimate worker from this, and I think you'll really look at the soft-spoken boy who never grew up shit as a total gimmick that he worked for hours on end, lived the gimmick like he's Teddy fucking Hart, and then to turn around and get his shit in.
Back, I heard.
I got him, and just so he could get his shit in behind closed doors on a 6 or 7 year old. Like it was all that work. That's what it takes to be able to pull that off of what your true evil intentions are.
Well, I've always suspected that with Sal Graziano too, not in that vein, but this is an evil lurking worker behind the scenes who.
Yeah.
Fucking scallywag.
Anybody who's that beloved, you can't trust them. Anybody who everybody puts over, you can't.
But I agree too. But like in the same vein as that, like we sat there, we saw all this. I just can't wrap my head around like how this could have went on for so long. And there's no blockbuster video or audio or pictures there's nothing. There's a bunch of guys cutting promos about a dude that's dead. And if Michael worked everybody all these years, I just think, as crazy as it sounds, this to me would be like the final straw. Like these guys came forward, here's the promo, we're laying it all on the line, they're going to get their steam. At this point in your life, if you're over, whoever the fuck you are, there's nothing on earth that's probably going to make you say he is or isn't. You already have your mind made up. So it's like, it is what it is. These guys got their moment in the sun. I don't think it tarnishes his legacy because this is the same shit we've heard for 30 years. I mean, literally since the 80s, people were like, oh, Crazy Michael, the kitty. But it's never mattered, as crazy as it sounds. It's not like he was a squeaky clean guy who was married to Brooke Shields. They had 4 kids, and then all of a sudden one day, like OJ, the heat on OJ was so shocking because, like, holy shit, how did this happen? And OJ's heat is that he got away with it. That's why people hate him.
So did Michael. Michael got away with it too. MJ didn't get convicted.
But he's so well, he did get away with it because he never went to court. He never got convicted.
Right.
He never went to jail.
Well, here's the
You know what I mean?
Here's the difference. Here's the difference between OJ and MJ. OJ, like you said, was a shock because he had wife, children, fame, Heisman, this, that, was in Naked Gun movies, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
MJ did a little conditioning for his dark operations because he played the gimmick of I'm a little boy, I never had a childhood, Peter Pan this, Peter Pan that. Oh, I love climbing a tree. I love sitting in bed and watching movies. You know, amusement parks, petting zoos, everything a child will love. That's what he brought to the table and put it that's what he is about. So if someone says, "Hey, this fucking guy is weird because of what he likes," it's a front if he wants to use that as a cloud or a smokescreen. And then when he starts touching little boys, allegedly, then they'll say, well, you know what? It doesn't surprise me because he's into AB3, as opposed to OJ, who was a coke snorting, whore banging father, husband, whatever, football player. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden they say, oh, he killed his wife and some other dude. It was right out of left field. So it's almost apples and oranges in this case, as far as
I
comparing
think the
one story to the
OJ
other.
thing. I think the OJ thing was actually less of a surprise. I have to push back a little bit because he had a history of domestic stuff. The
Yeah.
cops being
Exactly.
called, violence, anger issues. Like it was,
but so does
he was
MJ.
going in that direction.
Yeah, but if you're fucking 12 years old hanging out at Studio 54, you got a little bit of a legacy of sucking cock when you were young doing blow
okay.
with all that shit, too.
No, but
I mean,
let's,
it's just,
Stevie,
I don't
you
know,
were at
man.
Studio
I mean, I
54 when you were 12 sucking cock. Don't act like you didn't see it go down there.
Wearing a pair of angel wings,
Wow.
calling yourself fucking Angel Stevie on roller
I don't know,
skates,
it's just, I will say
shirtless
this:
and
when
short
we
shorts with a headband on.
the
when
blue ball order.
when we did the Jackson 5 impersonation,
Blue
Oh,
World
God.
I did not have blackface on. I'm just
Okay,
letting that
all
go to the
right.
record. I did not have any blackface on. That is a hidden gem. If you can get that on video, go check that out.
No.
I will not soon forget the look on Steve Richards' face as he was putting his outfit on for the evening, and I could just see him like his soul. I was the only one who wanted to really do the act because I'm a Michael Jackson
Well, you know,
fan.
maybe because
The other-
New Jack was hovering all around us during the dress rehearsal.
Yeah, he thought it was better than anybody.
Yeah, he
because
liked it.
he loved it.
Yeah.
But could you? I mean, I just remember us going to put it on at the arena, and Paul running over and saying, "No Jacksons tonight," because obviously, of course, if the Ravens flock went out there and did a goofy skit for 30 seconds, of course that could have cost us a pay-per-view. Not all the other fucking ridiculous shit that could really cost us a pay-per-view. That had nothing to do with it.
Well,
It was the three guys who would get a reaction.
I put this out there earlier before you came on. You know that kid in Vegas who did the one spot, the Michael Jackson spot, where he
Yeah, dude, I'm doing a show with him on it. Stevie, by the way, are you doing a show with him on April 3rd or what?
Right, April-
What did we just say?
yeah.
Wednesday night, April 3rd, we're wrestling for Pat Buck at WrestlePro.
Nice.
And I just saw Meanie last week, and I asked him, I go, is Stevie doing the show or
No,
what?
I'm
with him?
not
Because
there, dude. I haven't had any communication with Pat Buck and nobody else. I wasn't
I didn't know if you were doing it. Because that
going
kid
to
that
fly
Michael
myself
Jackson
in and just hope to
No, I
make
agree.
money.
No, I'm going up there for the week to visit New Jersey, and
Yeah.
obviously Meanie will wrestle for a ham sandwich. But that's in a good way. But it's in a good way. But the Michael Jackson guy is going to be there that night, Ben. He's
Nice.
going to be on the show. He's wrestling Pat.
Would you squash him out in 90 seconds? I would bring him out with I would bring him out with a white 8-year-old, and I would squash him in 90. I would have Brian Cage squash him in 90 seconds.
I don't know. And with all the new documentary out, it's a wrestling audience, wrestling fans. If there's a Michael Jackson guy out there, even though there's small, I think they want to see the moonwalk thing, the impersonation. Do I think it's going to be an 11-minute match? No. It's a 5 or 6 minute. It's because the
Won't be a bar
highlight
burner?
of the show. No, it's called "Does Funny Equal Money?"
Yeah,
and
it's all
everybody
gimmicks.
on the show was like
Can
entertaining.
you ask the
gimmick.
Michael
So,
Jackson impersonator if he can fly me in and get me a hotel?
Fuck that. I'm gonna call you and put you on the phone with the Michael Jackson impersonator.
Actually, we're going to bring him
But-
back for the interview next week. We're going
Yes.
to interview Michael Jackson.
Michael.
You heard it here, everyone.
If we can't kill the real guy, we're going to grab that indie worker and throw him into a wood chipper. It's just how it is if you don't switch your gimmick between now and then.
Yeah, I mean they could, but I would wonder if this kid. I don't know. He's really trained. I don't know how trained he is.
No, he's a
But I don't know
Vegas
if he's
performer.
getting off-
Take a close
Yeah,
look.
if he's gonna get off the fucking plane and look around and we'll be like, oh my god, this is the end of days. They're gonna kill me. Not work for him. And Pat's smart enough to turn him heel in the match because
Sure.
I think the fans will boo him, but the kid can't work as a heel. So it's got to be a 3 or 4 or 5 minute fucking deal just to beat Michael Jackson.
I don't know if these,
Hold on,
these
here's-
are
There's
wrestling
got to be a
fans. I don't
Joey
know if they
Ryan
would
dick
watch
grab
this.
spot.
Let them be aware.
That's what I mean. I don't think they'll give a shit. It's still Pat Buck. It's a home promotion. They got the home team on their side. The fans are there. They're gonna cheer for whatever comes out, and they'll see this fucking guy come out, the Michael Jackson thing, hee hee ha ha, and laugh and cheer and pop when they're supposed to, and and do what they have to do and go on their way.
If you have him roll out, if you have him powder and go hug the kid 3 times, you can eat up 2.5 minutes right there, man. Like that. Just have him take one punch, go hug a kid, and that's it.
This is how you book it.
Sal Graziano, mark in your fucking book on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
April 3rd, show up. I'll give you the directions to Rahway, New Jersey,
Oh,
and
look,
we'll
you're gonna be
fucking
in Rahway.
Yeah, it's in Rahway, and we'll
All right,
hang
all
out.
right. Yeah, I'll see you
the
there.
Michael Jackson impersonator will be there.
Bro, I will
Ramadan
see you there.
probably working tonight, so. But Yeah, we'll hang one and meet him, and we'll get a fucking photo, and you can put it on the page for the Crazy Horsemen, whatever you guys are.
Here's the finish right now. Just have somebody hold the little kid up in the audience, and he'll go to hug him, and you just score one.
Yeah, that's good. That's good finish, man. Fuck yeah.
I was just about to say that. You start off with a dance off, and there's the finish, distraction. But here's this twist. It's not a little boy. It's Hornswoggle dressed up as a little boy. So when he goes to lean in for the kiss, Hornswoggle kills him. Bang.
It'll
He's
be
there
like
too.
that fucking video.
I don't know if a fan of like friendly family show is going to try to introduce elements of pedophilia into the entertainment value for tonight.
Oh, they will.
Come on, dude. It's a comedy show. You got to put it over.
But I don't know what. Again, I don't know what Pat and Kevin are going for.
Yeah.
I don't know if I lean towards it.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Mike Hawes says Nova is a wet fart online. How is that true?
Who said that?
Mike Hawes.
Who is that?
He's a guy who runs a promotion out in California.
He used to run 3PW.
I don't know who the fuck that is. That just goes to show you what he is. I'm sitting here right now. The fucking the pieces of garbage that I picked up my front lawn and threw in my garbage can when I got home, they're more relevant to the wrestling industry than whoever the fuck that guy is. Come on, guys.
He's got an English accent.
Yeah.
I lost. Fuck.
No, but
come on. I mean,
Let me ask you something, Nova. You're a big mark for Michael, right? Do you think he was murdered, or do you think it was an accident the way he died?
who?
Michael.
Michael Jackson.
I think it was. I don't want to say almost a self-inflicted suicide, because he had gotten to the edge with the propofol and everything else so much that he just kept going. If you had showed those dosages to any normal human being, they would have been like, wait a minute, if you take this, you're going to die.
How about it, though, coming on the heels of that shoot that he did on Sony at the press conference? Did you see that? Because it happened within a week after that.
There was so much money to be made in his comeback heat.
Yeah, well, no, there's way more money, Nova, to be made in his death. His catalog. So why wouldn't they fucking whack him out if he's about to talk shit on him? Like, fuck this motherfucker. We'll whack him out and make $1 billion off him. He has no more value than that. And
I don't know, man, because that's always sitting there, though. The catalog's always sitting there.
Yeah.
So if he dies next year, 6 months, it's always there, because he had a shitload of unreleased stuff that was sitting in the vault that when he dies could be released. And, the whole thing with the Beatles catalog and all that, so they could have got living money out of him and then got the dead money whenever they want.
Well, he was going to stooge, so they were just like, fuck it. I think a big telling thing is that Prince didn't want to work with this motherfucker. I think they all knew, man, what was going down.
Yeah, there was probably like a weird indie heat between them, though, I always thought. Like a weird, I don't know if there's any, well, there is. There's a weird fucking grainy footage video you can find. There was a jam session one night in like LA or some shit, and Prince was on stage performing, and I forget who was with them, but they got Michael Jackson out of the audience, and he came up and performed with them. I'll find the link and send it to you. But I'm telling you, it exists. It was like only like 8 minutes long, and it was like one of the. I think Stevie Wonder was with him too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. It's just
that would have been the '89 tour probably when he was molesting the one Australian kid who was on stage. Appreciate you, Nova, doing the run and letting us fucking get a little heat on you, man. Always good to have another locker room view in here, and I'll send you that link, and maybe we'll link up in a week or two and hear what your opinions are after you watch the documentary, man.
Nova, I'll see you in the Rawway, man.
See me in Raleigh, man. We're gonna get our heat. Trust me. All right, guys.
Later, bro.
Later, bud.
Awesome.
Hey, something just came into my mind.
Gross.
Thank you. They were very nervous when this Sony hack happened, because supposedly there's some evidence Sony with the pedophilia and the people, the elite in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So do you think, because the beef with Sony and Michael, that Michael was going to drop dime on a lot of people?
That's the whole promo, dude. That's the whole promo he cuts on Sony. Did you ever see that footage?
No.
It's hard to find. I'll try it. It may be scrubbed, but it was like they're at a press conference. I remember he's sitting behind a table with a white tablecloth on it and the fucking, like they'd have at anything with Sony banners behind him, right? and he's fucking talking some shit, man. And he's getting like, "Not, I love you guys. I love the world." It's some real shit about they're controlling me and they don't want me to say this, and you guys don't even know they're holding my album hostage, and because of what I want to say, and it's very strange. I think it's a week or 2 weeks later, he wakes up dead.
He's like, "Hey, Sony, fuck your couch."
Pretty much. And Sony's like, "No, fuck your couch." And, you know, so I thought that was a great question to wrap it up with a go home, because they really don't touch on the death and the drug abuse that he was really under there. And you guys were talking about OJ being yayoed up and doing all that shit. Dude, Michael was on so much fucking shit too. Like in a right mind, who knows when the last time that guy was sober? Maybe 1982?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not making that as the excuse. I'm making that as this is all part of his fucking unreal life. The unreal life that he made his reality of all this is bullshit. He gets whatever he wants. He can have whatever he wants.
He said it. He said it to the mother. "I get whatever I want." When he didn't let the mother wouldn't let the kid stay there for a year.
Right. And then, you know, just the whole.
And then replaced him.
If you want right. Well, she's like, when we got dumped. I think we got dumped.
That was the other one.
Sorry, Justin French just put in the chat room, truemichaeljackson.com/speeches/speech against Sony. So if you want to open that and watch that for later, it's pretty powerful if it's the same one I'm thinking of.
Tell Captain Grinder to send us the link in the discussion thing he sent.
He did.
Okay.
But like, no, like I said, these aren't the excuses for it. It's just, this was his reality. It's nothing. It's not real in any way, shape, or form. And I wanted to touch on something, and I know we're trying to wrap up, but
I want to touch on something on you too, Sal.
touch on something a little bit, something extra. Shamona. So the fact is, look at the music industry, and I not just the music industry, but look at the music industry in general first. Back in the day,
on the Boulevard of Linden,
we used to kick routines and the presence was fitting.
the ass shack,
and me the 5-footer.
5-footer. So, but
Stevie's lost.
I'm gonna actually get this clip on.
Jerry Lee Lewis was fucking his 16-year-old cousin, right?
Right.
Back in the day, and everybody was like, "That's crazy. That's scandalous." It wasn't illegal. It wasn't
Yeah,
it
but
was scandalous.
Imagine she was 8.
Wait. Oh no, hang on. Bear with me on this.
Okay.
Then you move on. Let's move on to some of this shit, and then you go. And I'm gonna regret doing it, but it's the truth. You got Kiss, Christine 16. Okay. You got just bands writing songs about the fucking young girls they fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, the fact that they
rock and roll, hot sexual, underage pussy does not compare on the same scope to a man putting his cock in an 8-year-old boy's mouth. In my opinion.
So do you think when you think Michael Jackson was singing Skid Row, he was telling the kid to throw away his underwear too at the same time?
Oh shit.
Okay, so fart in church. Let me get back to the point. So the fact is, all of these guys, they've had girls who are like 13 years old that their parents knew they were going to concerts to put over the fucking acts. But because the acts took care of them, you know, and brought them out to fucking dinner for whatever. And this is going on 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. All of this shit is happening. Okay? The fact that Michael Jackson now, I'm not, and again, not condoning it, I'm just saying.
Sal, I'm gonna cut you off. You're fucking yourself. Here, the fact that you want to like put over a 13 to 14-year-old concert rat who convinces their parents to go one time to suck dick and then fucking on the tour bus and you're gone, versus a 2-year seduction of a family for pedophile is tough for me to fucking butt up against each other.
Okay. One is okay to do.
Well, one's not okay. Neither of them are okay.
This is what
but
I'm saying.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying.
You haven't said it yet. Spit it
But
out.
one is a 14-year-old girl who wants to go fuck Mick Jagger in 1967. The other is a 5-year-old who's being lured in with toys. It's a different.
No. Yes, but now also this Wade Robson, the way he was talking and through his own words, he was in love now. This was a relationship. This wasn't a fucking. This wasn't a bad thing. He wasn't getting diddled by Michael Jackson. He was in love with this guy who loved him.
Yes.
And it's fucked up. It's awful. I'm not saying it's okay.
That's a 2-year MK Ultra
Psyop.
brainwash psyop to get to the point where you can then turn it into a sexual accosting of a child, pedophile wise. Like they're not exclusively separate. One was sold to us as a bill of goods. That whole thing is a 24/7, 2-year in character work just to get to the point to teach a 7-year-old how to masturbate, and you can see their asshole. That's his whole fucking MO, and that's what it was, and everybody else bid on it.
The reason I brought up the other rock and roll shit, that's okay for us. We're okay with it, and especially, and this includes, you know, the wrestling business. All of the young pussy that's run through there, that's it's okay. It's all normalized. That's all of that shit is normalized, okay? And whether you're going to take this and say, okay, well, you know, she's a 16-year-old girl, she knows what she's doing. That's not the case. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to make that point.
Okay.
I'm saying this has been going on forever. It was normalized, though. What he did was normalized by mom and dad going, he's just eccentric. He's just lonely. And I'm not saying I never said
and that's because they're marks. That's because they're marks hanging out with a superstar. I bet there's WWE marks. If John Cena hung out with a fucking Make-A-Wish kid who's 8 years old for a year and a half, he could get to that same point if he was a deviant like fucking Michael Jackson was to start doing that kind of shit. Like,
but that's what I'm trying to point out. Like, put out that this whole thing, it depends on the situation. All these situations, you want to demonize any of these people, you can. Like, and you could take Jesus. No, sorry, Stevie. You could take Jesus and demonize him and say, oh, look, he spends all his time with these kids and he loves the children. Jesus, they even a song about it. Jesus loves the little children. Okay, great. So now he's a pedo because he's showing so much attention to those kids in need.
Actually, it's coincidentally when they actually blasted the nails in through his hand, it sounded an awful lot like this, Stevie.
Good. There you go.
I'm clipping the Michael Jackson thing real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's do a little Cosby match real quick, okay? First time around, he gets accused of touching a little kid. They go to trial.
Settled out of court.
No, he beats it.
No, he settled out of court.
Cosby, you're talking? Or are you talking Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Okay, we're talking Cosby math on Michael Jackson.
Yes.
He doesn't beat it. He settles out of court for $10 million.
Settles out of court and says it's cheaper than fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
Second time he gets accused, they don't go to court, right?
Right. They make it look like the father is just looking to make money and cash in.
But he pays him, correct?
He does.
So he's 0 for 2 right there. He just paid twice. The second time he didn't even go to court.
$21 million he's out by this time.
Okay. So that's $31 million he just fucking paid. And on Sal's account, there was a drawing, and I remember this, of you know, his little fucking wee-wee, his fucking little birthmarks or whatever, his markings, and they hit the nail right on the head.
Right.
Okay? Literally and figuratively. So then you have these two guys who basically said they never got touched, come out after he dies, maybe they ran out of money, and they're saying that he did touch him. And now they're suing the Jackson. I think they're suing the Jackson Estates, or the Jackson Estates, I know, is definitely suing HBO, right? So that's that. Then you have Corey Feldman say he's never been touched, or Michael Jackson never abused anybody, but yet Corey Feldman is holding fucking names ransom for $12 million to make a movie, so his word means shit.
Can I just jump in on? Go ahead.
Wait. When they also had the show with Corey Feldman, Corey Haim and Feldman together, Corey Haim said, hey, the guy you were hanging out with, insinuating Michael Jackson, abused Corey Haim as well, right? And that was on that reality series they had.
Yep.
Macaulay Culkin says he's never been fondled by Jackson. Yeah, Macaulay Culkin he's entangled to this whole child pedophilia thing on the West Coast in Portland with Voodoo Donuts. I don't know what the fuck that's all about because I don't know the details. But if he has been pedophile, if he was groped and became a pedophile, like we said, conditioning like Michael Jackson with Sammy Davis Jr., that wouldn't be far-fetched either because he was in the spotlight with them, with Michael. So they all kind of intersect with one another, and they're all 1 degree of separation. So something has to be in the pudding. Not the Jello pudding.
And
That's
and
not
if we look as an improviser, we look at the patterns of all three of those dudes who were on tape of how it shows that he, started courting them with the masturbation, da da da. They also all went to bat for him, saying he didn't touch me. And to me, this is me personally, there's something ain't right with Macaulay Culkin ever since he got out of that. And I believe
the Oscars. I mean, he's calling out every other.
he's calling out other dude, Rami
Right.
Malek,
Why
for being a
why
child
wouldn't he
eater.
fucking- yeah, why
I
wouldn't he
100%
bury Michael?
believe in the infatuation that Corey Feldman has with Michael Jackson. There's no way that both of them weren't molested. There's absolutely no way at this point.
Is
in my
Emmanuel
mind.
Lewis still alive?
No, he's passed. He's passed on too.
Webster died?
Webster. So like all the dude, it's there. The pattern. You don't repeat that. That's him getting his game sharpened so he can go to one territory and work that match, and then he'll go to another one and work that fucking same match because they hadn't seen it in front of a new crowd. Oh, it worked. I'll pop them just that big.
So
That-
the Hacksaw Jim Duggan indie match. It's
Pretty
a
much,
certain
dude. The
person
fucking Frankenstein powder, get back in, fucking get your heat on them, 3 shoulder blocks, and fucking go home. But if they hadn't seen it in the other territory in Australia, well, fuck, it's all new to them again. So to me, with Corey Haim Corey Feldman and Home Alone, dude, I think they're both victims. Just from watching the pattern of these other kids at that time, 9-year-olds aren't slick to come up and lie with shit like that. You know what I mean? It has to be fed by a lawyer or whatever it is.
So-
all their stories lining up makes me
That's
believe
my
they
other
were
point.
also all
I wanted
molested.
to actually, this is a detail of the video
Please.
that all the lawyers talked to all the kids and they ran the interviews like mock trials.
Sure.
Mock interviews. Mock interviews.
where?
Sorry.
in this one,
The
this new
police.
documentary.
Yes. The Santa Barbara police had all the kids and were like, "Look, we're going to run it this way." And they tried and they mock interviewed everybody about how they were going to get hammered, by all these people. And if they lied, they were going to jail. And if they lied, they would never see their families again. They threw it on these kids. And what 9-year-old
Sure.
going to stand up to that and be like, "Nope,
No.
never did it."
So I mean, the fact of the way they groom those kids to turn and flip to protect him is telling. But the most telling thing in that, Sal, to me is, all right, I don't have much. They say I only talked to Michael maybe 3 times that year, the whole year. I'm in LA trying to bust my ass, and we catch up 3 times.
Right.
The allegations come out. What happens? What's Michael's behavior after that? Call them every day. You go from total silence to calling them every day to get the conditioning to make sure they're on your side because the shit's about to go down and you want to have them in your good graces. That's a fucking locker room tell and a half instead of no selling. He's fucking laying out like crazy for them, right? But they're just marks, so they're not going to go to the media and know that. But if the media did know that at the time, holy fuck, would they have ran with it, right?
I got that clip actually of the
Sony?
speech at Sony. I hope I got it right at the correct spot. Let me play it.
Okay.
Owning half of Sony.
I came in too late. But
I own half of Sony's publishing and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it. But I just did good business,
You just said it right there.
wait, I can't shut it off.
It goes to Michael Jackson.
Owning half of Sony.
Let me get it off here. There, I cleared it.
Did good biz,
So
Briz.
it was talking about evil. They're an evil company, all this stuff and that. And then Mariah Carey was actually married with a guy's name
Tommy
Tom
Mottola.
something,
Tommy Mottola.
Tommy
and
Mottola.
talking about how he was mad, like. So there's a lot of different. No one's innocent in that either. I guess there's tons of shit. And maybe they turned around and said, "Hey, he did all this shit. I mean, if we do this to him, that's a smokescreen and a half just for the fact of if we're doing this with the propanol."
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of funny how the pattern, like you said, the pattern with the kids repeats itself. And we see it in the documentary how he was grooming everybody and setting them up how to be against the parents to each kid. And it's always over a year or 2 years and then gets a new kid. You know what I mean? but it's also the same pattern occurs with all these famous black stars that are very rich when they try to step into the arena to buy NBC like Cosby did, and then they take him down with the rape allegations and the rape case. This guy, he owned half of Sony. He's trying to walk away and take down Sony. Then they find him dead 2 weeks. You know what I mean? It's very, very suspicious, the fact that both these individuals who are not allowed to be part of the club, when they want to be part of the club, get taken out. You know what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Maybe that comes into some play as well.
He uses money to outfox him, same way he did fucking Fall McCartney wrong. He fucking Fall McCartney said, man, if I had the money, I'd buy the catalog. And he was, okay, made a fucking phone call, bought it, and fucked them. He did the same thing on Sony. So when he's talking about good biz, he ain't talking about investing $100 million in AEW. It's about long-term payments. So
these are two things that were going to happen.
Yeah.
Cosby was going to get NBC. He was about to get it when all this stuff kind of got shut down. It got quiet, which I think they might have.
Well, isn't that a pattern, Stevie? Isn't that a pattern when a black man who's an entertainer who danced for them made him a lot of money and now is going to take his money and make a power move, that their whole world comes crashing down around them? Not to say that either of them, it wasn't of their own making, but the code of the locker room sure goes by the fucking wayside when it's like that,
very
right?
suspect on both.
Right.
Very suspect.
Yep.
Well, what other famous, I just brought it up, but what other famous black entertainers out there who had a lot of money ended up having to do a job or getting taken out? Look at Magic Johnson with his alleged AIDS. Fucking guy had AIDS forever and got fat on it. He's the only guy I know who's had AIDS and got fat. Has HIV and didn't become
lived
skinny.
for 35 years.
Yeah,
No
after the
problem.
fact. So that's a conspiracy a lot of people talk about. So that's another one. I mean, who knows?
Eddie
Who knows
Murphy,
what's-
I don't know what Eddie Murphy wanted to do with his money, but they tried to, put it on him and definitely took away a lot
With
of
the
his star
transvestite
power.
hookers,
Yeah,
right?
all that shit.
Prince.
Prince,
Oh,
but
Prince,
Oh,
yeah,
Prince,
Prince,
my God.
Prince right there, yeah.
Oh, man.
yeah.
Mike Hawes, Prince.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, I think this has been plenty to infuriate you. If you haven't seen Leaving Neverland yet, it's easily piratable online, or if you have HBO and you don't know it, I would try and check it out there because it'll probably stream a lot easier. But to these victims, watching the promos, it's just very real to me as a worker. If they worked me, fucking good job. But I think this is the true shoot. And to be honest with you, this is just a tip of the dominoes. And R. Kelly's going to pay the price. I hope fucking all of Quincy Jones, fuck them. Burn their entire legacy.
Did you
I don't
see
care about me being a loyal mark for 30 years of somebody's entertainment to say fuck you and turn around and never have to listen to you again. I'm not going to keep you on a pedestal because you could fucking dance and sing. I'm not going to do that to my own morality. Go ahead, GGP.
Did you see the R. Kelly interview?
The new one, just the quick bit of it, yeah.
By CBS?
And he even puts over that
fucking Wendy Williams looking
he
bitch,
puts the
you know?
heat on the families that they sold their daughters to him. Why would you even fucking be on camera saying something stupid like that?
I mean, I saw only a 10, 11-minute clip, whatever it was. I don't know how long the actual interview is, but what a fucking work.
Yeah.
What a
Such an act,
work.
dude.
And the fact
Such
they
an
asked him, have you ever slept with any underage girls or had any sexual
What do you mean
relations?
underage?
And he says, no, absolutely not. He married fucking Aaliyah when she was 15. And a year later, it got a no. So that whole year, they never had any interaction being a married couple. Come on, dude. Come on.
Yeah, dude,
know?
he's gonna pay the price for this Michael Jackson shit. I absolutely believe it, to the highest degree.
So let's go around the table here. Let's start with you, Ben. I think I know what the answer is. Do you think he touched those little boys, or do you think he's innocent?
Him and 100, those ones and 100 more that we will possibly find out about. I wouldn't doubt if by the end of 2022, there's Bill Cosby numbers on that shit.
Okay, so here's a subset question. Who's more guilty, Michael Jackson or CERN?
CERN.
Gotcha. Sal, question A. Do you think he's innocent, or do you think he's guilty?
No, he's guilty. 100% guilty.
Okay, who's more guilty, him or CERN?
Well, if we go by YouTube and every Bible quote before every video, I'm going to go with Michael Jackson because that's fake. The CERN stuff is fake.
Okay.
All right.
What about you, Stevie?
He Richards.
That's never going to get old. At least not for us.
I think it's got to stay on there. It's got to just stay on there. That's your new gimmick.
So you're going to change instead of 5 stars, it'll be 5 he-he's.
5 he-he's.
Nice.
5-year-olds.
Yeah, man, there's no innocent parties throughout this documentary, and the pattern just over the course of what we've seen with, the 3, talking about the 2 that spoke and then the 1 sick kid. If you're going to do it 3 times, like Ben said, he's all over the world, and there's going to be kids that don't have this kind of long-term. I mean, I've believed in his sick mind. He loved these kids because he had long-term access and he infiltrated the families. But he must have, when he was in certain countries where it's like nobody's going to know. And it's a thing in some countries that doesn't even, like in Philippines and other places, people don't even bat an eye at that shit. So that's the kind of stuff that, yeah. And as far as CERN, imagine Michael Jackson having access to the multiverse is a fucking scary thought.
Nobody's safe.
Pulling more resources than a D-Wave computer, dude.
Yeah.
He might have broke the veil more than one way.
He'll give you the D-Wave. What do you think, buddy? Shoot it to you.
I don't know. I'm still on the fence.
Really?
I'm leaning
He
towards,
doesn't own a wrestling promotion, you can say.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Watch the second half. I think you'll be on the other side of the
That's
fence.
the thing. I didn't see the second half. I agree with Stevie wholeheartedly that no one's innocent. I know these guys are coming out a little too late. They don't care about saving people because if that was the case, they would have done it when they were on trial and they did perjury. But
here's the thing, real quick. They still came out earlier than Corey Feldman.
Well, yeah.
This guy still hasn't said a fucking word. My God.
But not even against Michael, against all these other people who fucking in Hollywood who are supposedly, and he knows everybody. Fuck him, piece of shit. He's almost as bad as Jose Canseco. $5,000 for aliens.
Oh, that guy! I'm glad to fucking tee off on him. If there's somebody I can get my shit in on every day, it's fucking Canseco.
Yeah, man. The only reason why I'm still on the fence about it is because, it's I don't know. It's hard to swallow that a guy who's so fucking famous,
not for Wade
like
Robson.
Jesus famous, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows who Michael Jackson is.
Yeah.
That he was able to get away with something, and not one crack in 30 years came out besides those 2 cases. And now after he passes, these other.
Well, it's not the fact of that, dude. We can go back to when we were in the 80s. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Michael Jackson is a fag. Pepsi Cola burned him up. Now all he drinks is 7-Up. So don't fucking tell me like this shit was going after that, because it was going down in 86 like that.
Bro, we called Bon Jovi a fag in the 80s.
Yeah, dude, that was an urban legend about Bon Jovi drinking.
But Bon Jovi wasn't showing up to fucking press conferences and watching a 7-year-old white kid run to the hotel room out of his fucking limo.
I get it.
It's my life. It's now or never.
But
I'm gonna fuck kids forever. What?
But the fact that these people on this documentary in the first part anyway explained the way how he separated the kids from the family, made them feel the world against them. That's some real mental fucking cerebral fucking warfare.
That's the conditioning 101. That's the 101.
That's what I'm saying. So the fact that he was able to pull that trick off isn't too far-fetched, that he was able to touch little kids. So I'm on the fence. I'm still gonna say alleged till the shit comes to fruition, and it's fucking wholehearted that the facts are right there. Yakuza kicking you right in the face. But maybe I need to see part 2 in order to make my decision up. I don't know.
I think you do, bud.
So let everybody know that we got demonetized the second we went live just because of Tommy Robinson leaving Neverland, Michael Jackson keywords on YouTube.
We did it, you guys. Mission accomplished. George Bush Jr. style. This was an excellent show. Thanks to Nova and to Mike Hawes for doing run-ins tonight, man. We had a lot of fun with both of those guys. Always good to talk to Simon Dean, a.k.a. Supernova of the Blue World Order, if you guys didn't know. That's how we do it. It's the fucking Conspiracy Horse Horsemen. We keep it ECW original and hardcore, and we don't pull no fucking punches. And we're gonna, call a Jade Spade when we've seen one, and there ain't no fucking reason not to, because I'm not gonna stand up for somebody's celebrity when it comes to morality and toe that line. That's not what we're here for.
Year is saying that the YouTube channel just got closed. Live stream unavailable.
Wow.
Wow, we got shut down,
really?
huh?
Shut them down.
Fuck.
Strong
we got kicked
style.
off TV shows and
No,
YouTube
it's still
shows.
there. I think I had to take it off as public because I don't want it to be up there, and then we can put up segments. So that's probably what happened.
We'll go around the horn real quick and take it home here. Sally, what do you got going on? Anything, man? Obviously, you're going to Rahway, New Jersey for this big Pat Buck Wrestle Pro comedy show now.
Going to be in Rahway, and if Pat Buck allows me to come in, because who knows, because fucking quacking cunt had an issue when I showed up at Chikara in my neighborhood.
Pat Buck's a Ben Hameen guy.
you?
We go all the way back, right? OVW. I managed him against Conway, so you're all good there, man. I talked to him not long ago. Plus, who the fuck is going to stop a giant? Forget about it.
Well, no, like I said, went to Chikara to go see the guy. 'Cause I was a fan of the product, and then Quackenbush, I went to go see Joey and Jazz because they were working.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped in, said hi to them, and Quackenbush said, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, who are you here for?" And I was like, "I'm just here to see Joey and Jazz, and I'm gonna split." And then he tried to have his guys walk me out the front. I walked out the back. I said, "Go fuck yourself." Yeah.
You didn't even realize who you were?
Dude, what the
I don't
fuck,
care.
Quack?
Because, dude, I'm not. What am I gonna do? You know who I am? Go fuck yourself. It's your fucking $6 show. I'm gonna leave.
Dude, if a 7-foot guy walks in my locker room, I'm going to go, who's that guy and how the fuck do I get him booked? I'm not going to go, who the fuck is he in here for?
I know Quackenbush. I've known him for years. I've seen him years ago. So whatever.
I hope you
fuck
get
yourself.
molested by fucking Michael Jackson's skeleton. Fuck out of here. GGP, what's coming up now? Sorry, didn't mean to say.
No,
I know
it.
we got new shirts at SEG
Hold on.
Shirts, hand drawn by the man himself. So if you want a new Conspiracy Horseman shirt, head over to ProWrestlingTees.com/SEG Shirts and grab that.
And
You
where
guys.
can they find you as far as your other podcast goes there, my friend?
Oh, we do have the Hard Junkyard. We haven't recorded in a bit. We've been in between because apparently some of our producers get jobs and shit. So he fucks
me.
things up by getting in real life.
So what's the email address?
Well, it is, if you want to reach us, you can send us. I'm not terrible at this. You can reach us at the Horror Junkyard at protonmail.com. That is the official CERN server, unbreakable, unhackable. And so if you have some ideas, you want to reach out to us, that's an easy way to get a hold of us. Some stuff coming up on the pike, some ideas we're going to be throwing out to you, so we'll see.
And get at him on Twitter at DeadNoSave. Follow him, guys. He's easy to piss off. So if you're bored in your day, just
completely. I've been ranting like a cunt about all the bitches in gaming. We're having a lot of heat, a lot of WotC stuff. So get over at us over there, yell at me over there, and I'll fucking probably scream and yell about other shit and get pissed off at work.
There's nothing better for your day than that, you guys. GGP, where's the world tour taking us next?
World Tour is taking me, let's see, the next show I'm on is NYWC on 3:30, where Talon and myself will be wrestling the rep for the NYWC Tag Team Championships. I hate to give it this spoiler alert, but you're looking at one half of the new NYWC Tag Team Champion because I know how to win belts. Because I am one half of the longest reigning Dynasty Tag Team Champions
right, baby.
of all time. Greatest Ronin heavyweight champion of all time. Nothing, Stevie. Again, fucker. So that'd be on 3:30. I am starting. It is official. I am starting a new podcast, a Star Wars podcast. It's going to be called The New Force Order, and it should be in commission next week.
Awesome.
I will give Ben all the stuff. We're working on the blend right now for the show. It's going to be myself, a buddy of mine, and as of right now, Mike Johnson is going to be the third man on the team, and we're going to be able to rock and roll and talk Star Wars and shit talk Star Trek and CERN all day long. And you can find me at Greek God Papadon on Twitter, Demetrius Papadon on Facebook, Greek God Papadon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I just threw up a new match with Gangrel at Rona 21. What's up?
Just made me throw up a little bit in my mouth.
Like, could I say Gangrel?
Go ahead.
Why is there heat between you and David?
No, go ahead. Whoa, sorry, David. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And then where was I going? Oh yeah, my Pro Wrestling Tee store. Pro Wrestling Tees / Greek God Pop It On.
What's going
Why'd
on?
you throw up in your mouth?
Go ahead.
No, it's done.
No, all right, fair enough. I'm just saying, if you have to, lower somebody to raise yourself, that's just okay. That's cool.
How'd I
I
lower
think he's talking
someone?
about your podcast, not Gangrel.
Yeah, do we have a stooge off on what first topic might be for the new Force Order?
We may be talking about some backlash from the Last Jedi.
Okay.
Everyone, pros and cons.
I need to learn more personally about Mandalorians. So if there's something, because that's going to be a hot thing for the next year, Mandalorians are getting their own show. So I need to know more about that. If you can throw a little
You need to
Mandalorian.
start pumping out some fucking Mandalorian badges, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Get ahead of the curve.
I
now,
just
bro.
got copper plastic, so I got to do some maintenance on the machine. But I was going to make an all copper
Some
Mandalorian
Judge
helmet.
Dredd badges, dude, with everybody's fucking name gimmicked on 'em. Oh, that'd be
What about
fucking
Star Trek officer?
insignias?
badge?
Yeah, that'd be sweet
That's
too.
it. Or the hand of the Queen Game of Thrones fucking gimmick.
Oh, dude. What was I gonna say about the sickest thing I've seen that I'm dying to buy was a 300 helmet, right? But it was a 300 helmet that was made into Boba Fett's, painted like Boba Fett's helmet.
Oh fuck
And
yeah!
it looks so sick. They put the black visor.
I've seen that shit, dude. That's fucking hot.
God.
So as
It
we
was dope.
continue to masturbate like Michael Jackson at the carnival, Stevie, you want to let us know how we can increase our forearm strength so we can have some more stamina?
I'm gonna get my $600 out of this Rodecaster Pro here. I'm just gonna play the Dr. Janda endorsement.
Yeah.
His name is Stevie Richards. And he has a conditioning and training program that's phenomenal. It's the only conditioning and training program. He has a 12-week program, a 16-week program that I believe would help every one of you, my listeners, no matter what age, no matter what your physical condition, because it's a program that can be modified a million different ways.
Right after that, he said, "Now you can all go fuck yourself." And thanks for listening.
Thanks for
after
listening.
that. But yeah, StevieRichardsFitness.com, the 12 and 16-week resistance band training program. I want to let everybody know the sales have been so incredible that we are out of stock of every resistance band until this
Wow.
weekend. They've been on back order.
You got to get them kids whipped into shape down there.
Back order. I was going to ask
Shit,
Hawes about if he had any kids. Would his Japanese wife start making them? I don't have to do customs or anything. Keep it in the U.S. Get U.S. workers rolling.
That's right.
But
America
but the
first.
program, and we do have other brands that we recommend. So when you order, I'll send you a link to that, and a little bit goes back. It's an Amazon affiliate link, and a little bit comes back, so we can buy cool stuff like that for the Rodecaster Pro. And we're adding a little audio clips in to kind of make it more interactive, and phone calls with Nova. So cool stuff. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Got all sorts of stuff. Well, maybe not after tonight since we got kicked off, but hopefully we'll still be up. Subscribe there. Follow me at BWSTV on Twitter, at Stevie Richards on Instagram, ProWrestlingTees.com/Stevie Richards. Also, Sal and I are in semi-secret talks about something that might, be coming soon
Oh, boy.
as far as a pod. Yeah.
Even the
as far as
producer
the
kayfabed
podcast.
on it. All right. Good stuff.
No, we talked about it last week.
No, I got you. I'm just playing into it. And I've got my own soundboard over here. All I have to do is mention Phil Farda. And it's right there, first time out. We had a great show at Comedy Central CNY this weekend with Phil Farda. It was a good time.
See, Stevie, 12 years later, the money's in the cell. Imagine if you would have done that 12 years ago. Where'd you be today?
I'd be in AEW.
Keep going, Stevie. Take it to him.
Oh, that's it.
No, I mean at Stevie at BWO Stevie on
I
Twitter.
Said all that.
Stevie Richards
I don't
Instagram.
know
Did you
if
say
Ed
it?
Said all that.
Did you?
yet.
All right. I'm still on Dr.
We all
Janda.
stroked out. Only one more to go. Papa on didn't stroke out yet.
I will. I had to have my moment there. Yeah, like I said, it was a good time with Comedy Central CNY, Phil Farda last week. And I'm looking forward to the 23rd, going back to Crossfire, Hacker Humming Open Challenge. Jay Moore and I have got something special cooked up, so there's nobody up there who's safe north of the border, you stupid infidels. And 420 announced heavyweight title match Immortal Wrestling, Rome, New York, Hacker Hameen versus Slick Wagner Brown. Hacker Hameen bringing the title home to the Conspiracy Horsemen. Believe it, infidels. And we'll be here. 2 brand new shirts out at ProWrestlingTees.com/Bin Hameen. The Hameen's Tarp Emporium, and also Rare Sellout coming soon, probably in the next couple of days. Americant Tarp team as well. So keep an eye out and grab all 3 of those, infidels. We're go ahead, GGP.
I just want to say congratulations to Stevie for teaching Colby Covington to being the top heel in the UFC.
Hell yeah, man.
Talk.
Good stuff all the way around. As we drop more pebbles in the pond, our ripple effect will be felt across all of media. I don't care if it's Chainsaw, the Science Channel, Podcast One, Westwood One, Hacker Hameen brand, Russo brand. You guys know where you're going to find the best and real information. It's right here with the Conspiracy Horsemen. Big Sal, GGP, Stevie Richards, and Hacker Hameen, infidel. It's a red hot show. Go out there and watch those documentaries. Get fired up and make some change for yourself. Y'all, hit it, Stevie.